6:02, good morning. Live from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. A big 5-0 win for the Nashville Predators last night over the Anaheim Ducks in Anaheim. The Preds had 5 different goal scorers, but the star of the night was goaltender Justus Annunen, who made 43 saves in the win, which is the second most in his career. The Ducks had 5.87 expected goals against, but unable to generate anything past Annunen, who gets Nashville their first shutout win of the season. The Preds now jump back over the LA Kings with 84 and take the second wildcard spot in the Western Conference playoffs. Next up for the Preds is Utah Mammoth tomorrow night in Salt Lake City, who beat Edmonton last night 6-5 in overtime. Nashville Soccer Club and Club America ended in a 0-0 draw last night at Geodis Park in the first leg of the CONCACAF Champions Cup. The second leg will be next Tuesday in Mexico in a decisive match, which will be played at 10:30 p.m. Central Time. And in some Vols hoops news yesterday, Tennessee freshman Amari Evans has entered the transfer portal, becoming the 7th Vols player to do so. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Six a.m. and off and running on 104.5 The Zone. Good morning. And welcome into Ramon and Will on a brisk Wednesday in Music City. We talk NFL draft this morning with our good friend Aditi Kinkhabwala of CBS Sports at 7:20. Rhett Bryan joins us for his weekly visit discussing quarterbacks and tight ends this morning. We take a look closer at where the Titans can find starters on day 2 of an NFL draft filled with solid contributors after the first 32 picks. 615-737-1045 is the number. He is the 11-year NFL vet, Ramon Foster. Justin Hawkins is at the controls. I'm Will Bowling, streaming live on 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. What's up?
Not much. Good morning, man. Happy hump day. It is, I feel like today is my Tuesday, which is the day you really get going. But besides that, Will, just good old solid American morning, man. Just happy to be here. I think it's supposed to be a nice weather day today. Solid. By the way, terrible. I think it's a bad accident. 65 North. Everybody's been asked to detour around Goodlettsville. It was like a bad 18-wheeler wreck. I'm not sure if y'all got that alert or whatever, but it's slowing down the other side of the highway.
Yeah, you texted me, and then I saw it's not like red.
Yeah.
It's like burgundy, to where there's just nothing. There's no car movement.
It's horrendous. It's around Goodlettsville area, but it gets clear, and then it starts slowing down everything else, man. So y'all give yourselves a little extra time if you're coming from up north. And by the way, RIP to whoever was in those accidents. Apparently, that was a bad accident. I've never seen an 18-wheeler look like this that was on the highway.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it was actually pretty crazy.
Okay. Well, if you are stuck in the traffic, we'll keep you company. And if you don't want to be stuck in the traffic because you're not on the way yet, then maybe avoid that area of... So you said 65?
Yeah, 65 north by Goodlettsville. 65 north by Goodlettsville. Yeah, not great at all. Plus, that area is always bad with traffic anyway. I think they're reconstructing the highway up towards that way, too. I hadn't driven that way in a while. We done with little kids travel baseball going up to Kentucky. Oh, by the way, speaking of travel sports, I just got to call it out real quick. I was criticized, talked about, and shamed by my relatives. Okay, yeah, at one point in time, by my brother-in-law and my brother and stuff like that. It was like, man, y'all gotta go on these vacations with us, man, because the kids need to enjoy and have a good time and stuff like that. And we're telling them as parents that live in this era of like pre-teenagers, like, man, listen, we got a travel schedule we got going on. Like the kids, we've already paid for it. We're committed to it. Both my brother and brother-in-law both in travel sports right now. My brother Renardo's doing travel volleyball with his daughter. They just came back from Atlanta. My brother Josh is every day doing something for his travel softball team with his daughter. By the way, too, let me get a soapbox moment. Girl dads, moms, y'all are excused from this one. Girl dads, y'all are crazy. Will, I hadn't met a single sane girl dad that out here that has their daughter in sports. Not yet. They're way harder on their daughters than I feel like guys are on the boys. They are strict with the girls. Every single girl dad I know that has a daughter in sports, they are by far the most over-the-top father. In a good way, I will say. In a good way. But girl dads go way harder. I don't know,
Good to know.
if it's Mamba mentality or what, but they go insane. And I say that with all due respect because I guess like it's just a different mindset when you're trying to teach a girl how to be, tougher and, all the little things. And I don't know. Every girl that I met, y'all are crazy. I just want to throw y'all out there.
Okay. Interesting.
Bubba and Dixon's one of those guys. He ain't crazy, but he go crazy about his girls.
I just remember I was never athletic enough to do travel anything growing up. It was like, well, maybe we stick to just at home baseball.
Club sport.
Maybe we just go to the Brentwood Civitan Park. And one year you're going to be the White Sox. One year we'll be the Angels.
Stop.
We're going to do one of those where we just switch to a different MLB hat, which does kind of feel like stolen valor at that point as a kid. But maybe we just go we travel from field 1 to field 4 across the way every now and then. That's as much travel sports as I did.
And you was waiting.
Which I'm sure will shock no one that I did not do travel sports growing up.
And you was just eager for the snacks after the games each and every time.
Well, no, I was eager to win. I just wasn't very good at it.
Okay.
It was one of those too. I played baseball through 6th grade because you had to be in 7th grade to do the middle school baseball team where I went to middle school.
Absolutely.
And I ran track for the school, but I played baseball at like the Civitan Park there. And I was good enough as a pitcher and as a fielder. I was great at defense.
Great.
I mean, if I played first base because I'm a lefty and a lefty pitcher.
Uh-oh.
But I had 2 problems. One, I threw too many strikes. And at that age, you have to be effectively wild because if you're out of the zone in 6th grade, people just swing at whatever junk you're throwing up there.
Do.
And so that was number 1. And B, I was just good enough at defense and the other stuff to get drafted like high enough when all the parents or like the coaches would get together to draft the team.
Yeah.
But I was a net nothing at the plate. I could not hit. Could not make solid contact. And so my teams were never good because people would want me for my fielding and pitching.
Pitching, you're a lefty.
But I could not touch the baseball at the plate. Truly, I was terrible at hitting the ball. And I was, as you would, I'm sure, be shocked to learn, very hard on myself to be better at hitting the ball. Could not do it.
Could not do it.
Could not. I don't know if I never got the right coaching. Maybe I'll just go, I'll deflect here. Let me blame everyone else who put a baseball bat in my hand. But for whatever reason, I would swing under the ball a good bit. Like I would time it up fine. Yeah. And then I was terrible at hitting inside pitches. I thought the ball was going to hit me. I was like, I don't need this. I'm running a mile this weekend at a big meet over at Harpeth Hall, which hosted a lot of meets back then.
I get it.
I was like, I don't need this. I get
it.
Do they not have club, cross country, or track? Like
that's all it is, ain't it?
Like recreationally?
That is not one of those sports for distance running where participating at a really young age helps you.
Yeah.
It honestly hurts you.
It hurts you more.
Your joints and stuff.
You don't need to be running a ton of miles until like you're physically ready.
You sound like me about football.
Well, it's just, honestly, there are some similarities there.
Yeah.
Like, there are very few sports. Golf is the sport that it helps you to do it at a very young age.
It's okay to just roll it out.
That is a skill.
Okay.
And you don't just have to be physically better than everyone else to be good at it. Running is kind of like football in that way, where if you are aerobically and physically more mature and just ready to do certain things and have longer legs, which I didn't have till freshman year because I was not good until I was in high school. There was a ton of club like travel and AAU track stuff, and there are a lot of really good people that do that. And I think for sprinting, maybe that makes more sense. But for distance running, no.
For younger athletes, natural sports that involve natural movement, so like golf would be one. Yeah. Golf, when you're swinging around your shoulder, is a very natural movement, just like softball pitchers can last like multiple games because that is a natural arm movement, where baseball male pitchers, that is not a natural movement.
No doubt. What other sports did you play, Hawk?
I played Pee-wee football.
I was at Pee-wee football where I was from.
I was a running back and a safety. I don't really remember how well I did, but I didn't. I only played
clearly not memorable.
Yeah, right. I only played like 3 years. I was number 9 for Steve McNair, so that was something.
Okay, that's commendable.
I played baseball. I was multi-all-star until I decided to play one sport, which was soccer. So when I played four sports growing up,
early.
Yeah, I played 4 sports all year round. It was football, baseball, basketball, and soccer. Hockey, I would have loved to play, but that wasn't really. Yeah, but it wasn't really offered growing up. Lacrosse would have been something I would be very interested in. Not offered growing up. Dixon didn't just have those kind of sports, though.
Are you still shocked that he's from Dixon County?
No, I'm not shocked. I just didn't know.
Am.
A lot of people don't understand that I'm from Dixon because I don't have that, like, really southern.
Oh, so you acting like you better than them now?
No, I'm just saying.
You get out to the big city and you better than them now?
People. That's crazy.
Don't take it there. I just don't have that kind of accent.
That's crazy.
Into that one. You better than everybody back in Dixon now?
No. Represent.
Okay.
You got to represent where you're from.
We never had Little League football, flag, like at all growing up.
I was not big enough to play Little League football.
Now I'm from a small town, too. You weren't big enough to play it?
No.
Okay.
No, I was as scrawny as it gets my whole life.
Yeah, all we had was we had baseball at the park, I think is what it was. All I used to hear about was the kids coming back. We made all-stars and all that. My high school won state championship too, I think in 2002 as well. So we were decent over there, Ripley High School. But I didn't play football till the 7th grade, which is kind of what you're saying about long distance running.
I feel like that's fine. Yeah. I feel like, honestly, that's probably the way it should be.
Did I tell you about the first time I went out to a football practice, what I had as my thirst quencher?
No. What'd you do?
Just young and dumb, had no idea what hydration was and what it required. It was just red. I had a Gatorade bottle.
Okay.
I had it full of red Kool-Aid.
Oh, my gosh.
I swear to God. I swear.
And then you came to the defensive line and you went, oh, yeah. Did you have pickles on the side?
No, but I thought Gatorade was Kool-Aid at the time. And we, growing up, I wasn't overly poor, but like we weren't buying Gatorade bottles.
Dang, I wasted my Kool-Aid on football practice. That's crazy.
I did. Well,
that's hilarious.
I had red Kool-Aid in a bottle.
Well, I mean, look, that's nourishing. As a 7th grader?
Sugar rush?
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. At 13, that's about right.
For sure was a sugar rush.
We're going out of my first track practice in 6th grade. I went to Academy to get spikes, no free shout-outs. And because, again, I did not know what I was doing. We're like, let's just go to the one place we know would have some kind of spikes and be open and all these things. And graduated to Fleet Feet, Nashville after that once I got serious. And you should too. And I wore my spikes out to practice.
Did you really?
Because I wanted the sound of the crunch on the sidewalk of football players walking onto the field. They were like, "Hey, Will, you don't wear your spikes every day. Those are just for races and like for some workouts." I was like, "Oh."
This is the whole...
I was late to practice innings. I had to go late and I had to go change into my running shoes, and then I came back out. But I was like, I just want to hear the crunch. I never told anybody that. But
I remember the flavor of Kool-Aid it was, too. You remember which cleats? Were they Nike cleats?
No, they were black and silver Adidas track spikes.
Oh, my Lord.
That, again, like was just the one thing at the big box store that you could go get. And I had no clue what I was looking for. And then realized, like, hey, you actually need someone to, like, fit you with stuff like this and, like, recommend the right distance. But I had no clue what I was doing. I think one of my friends had them is the reason I did it. But I just wanted to. I was like, all right, practice. Here we go, baby.
My Kool-Aid flavor was black cherry. I'll never forget.
Black? They make that?
Yes, it's fine.
Black cherry?
That is a fantastic pool there.
Fantastic flavor of sugar water.
Love that. 615-737-1045 is our number. There is an ESPN.com piece that compares top draft prospects to current pros. A couple of Titans targets within this. We'll talk about it coming up next.
It's Ramon Foster for Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Just informing you all, man, and nobody likes dealing with a plumbing, HVAC, or electrical emergency at all. We are about to hit springtime/summertime, and we want to be outside. We want to be able to flip our switches or have people over to have to worry about electrical issues if the AC is cool enough in the house, or can go use the restroom just, in peace. Those are the types of things we worry about when it gets warm outside and we start inviting people over. What you don't have to worry about is what it will cost you or if it'll get fixed right if you use Hiller. The experts, they usually always solve your problems as quick as possible, and the price that you tell is the price that you'll actually pay. No hidden fees or surprises on your bill at all. Hiller's been in business for over 35 years, and our family owned and operated. The techs are very professional, experienced, and just trustworthy as well. They believe in this, man. Happy you'll be, or the service is free. If you're not satisfied with the work that Hiller does in or around your home, they would do all they can to fix it or simply just give you your money back. It is that simple. To learn more about Hiller or to book with them like I do, head over to happyhiller.com.
Ramon Will on 104.5 The Zone, hour number one on this Wednesday morning, 615-737-1045. Live for the 104.5 The Zone Circus Sports Studio. Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circus Sports at Kentucky Downs. Ramon admitted this morning that he took black cherry Kool-Aid to his first ever football practice. Angel is in Clarksville wanting to chime in on football drinks this morning. What's up, Angel?
Morning, Angel.
What's going on, fellas? You already know, on my way to Hendersonville. But first, two things. First off, the fact that not only did Ramon have that out there, but the fact that Will didn't know black cherry was a thing is crazy.
I didn't.
It's
I know.
so fire.
Hand up. Hand up.
It's so good. People don't talk about it enough.
Well, right. You ain't no spring chicken, Will. You ain't old, but you ain't young, man.
Fair enough.
But what the second thing I was going to say is, man, the first thing I had out there was Sprite. That boy Grant Hill, you remember Grant Hill commercial? Grant Hill drinks Sprite.
Yeah.
That man had his stomach aches, his stomach bubbling, ruining dinner, all types of stuff, man. Yeah. I'm going to hang up and listen. But
they misled us in the 90s, man. They misled us.
I'm 37 years old, man. You know, Grant Hill was my Michael Jordan. You know it.
He was.
Love y'all boys, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
I remember them commercials, man, when Sprite really ran with the campaign. It's quench your thirst, and they be out there. He ain't lying. Commercial. They're on the basketball court. Grant Hill would crack open a Sprite and drink it on the basketball court. And I thought, that's how we live out here in 1998 and 99. Sprite.
Oh, gosh.
Obey your thirst. Yeah, Duck put it in there. Will. They used to be on the basketball course and just crack open Sprites, and I just thought that's the most I'd ever seen a campaign, and it was obey your thirst.
Why would your thirst be telling you to drink a Sprite during basketball?
They use all athletes the way I remember.
Everybody
it
be
too.
burping and having.
And you know what I did?
Gas.
I was drinking Sprite after we playing pickup basketball.
So this was the same era that was telling you to have sugary Wheaties before you had workouts and then have Sprite right after.
We were lied to.
Y'all had a lot of lactic acid back then. A lot of soreness going on.
You got also
in the 80s and 90s.
Will, they invited us to also drink Surge. You've ever looked up the
Surge?
Yes.
So the one I do remember is
Surge.
I was handed Vaults for the first time.
Same.
Leaving the Cotton Bowl between Tennessee and Texas A&M that you were on the field for.
Yeah. Yes.
In
Vault was popular.
2006. That was the 05. No, it was the 04 season.
Yeah, 04 to 05.
Yeah, that's right. 04 to 05.
Yeah, no.
There was no 05-06 bowl game, unfortunately.
No, it was not. It was not sad times.
Unfortunately.
We got cut clear after that, though.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
But, yes, Vault and Surge were a thing. Like, we go to, back in Covington, it was movie gallery on a Friday, get a movie, get Pizza Hut, and, like, get Surge. Like, that was a thing. So,
Surge
we were out here. It was green. Will, caffeine.
Yeah, there's only one color that Surge could be.
Yeah,
green.
It blew Mountain Dew out the water. Absolutely out the water.
Nice.
Oh, my gosh. What a time.
I love it. Let's get Tim in Nashville in here before we get to some NFL draft stuff. What's up, Tim?
What's up, Tim?
What's up, guys? Hey, they used to have Kobe Bryant and Tim Duncan on Sprite commercials, too.
I told y'all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tim, did it make you want to drink it after hooping?
It did, but I couldn't do it. You want to know why? Because I ran track.
See?
You just like me.
We were out there with bottles of Sprites, and then they were also doing the campaign, buy one, and, like, you would get, like, the bottle caps that would be like, get one free.
You get the code up on the inside of it. Yes.
It was, I won, like, 3 Sprites in a row just from the bottle tops back in the day. Like, and we were all just passing them out and drinking them and hooping.
It was Kobe, Tim Duncan, and Missy Elliott was rapping on the commercial. It was something weird. Yes.
Man. See, I'm not wrong enough. Tim, I appreciate you backing me up. I wasn't wrong in my Kool-Aid, but I was.
Nah, no problem, guys. Y'all have a good day.
Too.
Thank you, Tim. Appreciate the call.
The campaigns were out of this world.
I feel like LeBron's done some Sprite stuff, too.
He did. He and Drake, I think, did one later on. Why are they using sports and Sprite?
Well,
Anthony Edwards does it now.
I can tell you that I doubt LeBron was filming any commercials in Memphis to do Sprite. You know, Coke actually offered first, but they were going to have him have to stay at the West in Memphis in order to. I'm joking, everyone. I'm joking. You can go back and listen to our segment about that last week.
Yeah, we're pro Memphis.
If you want to hear our actual analysis on that, but I'm joking.
We're pro Memphis on that one. That's insane. What a time, though. We're way more health conscious now, but I fell for it. Advertisement got me. It absolutely did.
One more. Joe and Laverne in here next. Wait. What's up, Joe?
What's up, Joe?
Hey, Ramon, I know this is going to bring you back, but remember the powdered Gatorade we used to have to mix? The orange stuff that was just god-awful. You had to make it yourself, and it tasted like the water from where you live.
Yes, absolutely. I'm talking about, I remember saying our coaches paddle to actually stir it up. Oh, my gosh, a boat paddle to stir it up.
It now, you're welcome.
No doubt, I appreciate it. And they just stored the bags everywhere, too. You just see a plethora of Gatorade bags. And I used to love when they used to make it extra sweet, though.
That was my era, too.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you for the call, Joe.
You've had that one, too. The cans, we always speak about the cans.
We've talked about the cans quite a bit. If you have a can of Gatorade somewhere, you have been blessed.
Why they don't sell it in the stores?
I want to say that's become a thing again.
Has it? They need to.
I want to say it has.
Best flavor in the can to you?
Yellow.
Orange.
Yellow-orange.
Yellow-orange.
To me. Yeah.
The red hit.
How is yellow and orange the same thing?
They're both as good.
Both as good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's yellow.
It's yellow for you? Lemon lime?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. It was, and people tell you also Gatorade isn't good for you now as well.
Yeah, that's right. Right.
Too much sugar.
Gatorade Zero.
How am I supposed to drink it as a kid then, Hawk?
You don't.
Yeah, we do.
You drink your Kool-Aid. Sugar-free Kool-Aid.
I did drink
again.
Kool-Aid.
For those just joining us, Ramon told that story earlier that he took black cherry Kool-Aid to his first practice. This is not Justin making a very wild statement.
It's not. I never get Miss Qualls was the teacher that looked.
I'm going to keep giving the context every time we talk about this story.
It is. I appreciate you doing it because I too was a fool at one point in time. Miss Qualls looked at me and said, "Son, you're not supposed to have that much sugar out here on the football field." And I went out there. I made the team. I made the team with all that sugar rush that I had going on.
It works for Grant Hill. Why can't it work for me?
Why can't it work for me? That's exact. It's red, just like Gatorade
That's exactly
is.
Right.
That was my thought process as a 12-year-old kid.
ESPN.com writers have compared top draft prospects to current NFL vets, and Matt Miller of ESPN says Sonny Styles' comp is Fred Warner. Ramon is very pleased with this.
Haven't we talked about that? Yeah.
Rare athlete at 6'5", 244 pounds with 4.46 speed, great length, and plenty of range to be a factor as a coverage linebacker. Like Warner, Sonny Styles has awesome ability to lock down in coverage and make an impact as a pass rusher, has 9 career sacks. Fred Warner's best assets are his range and instincts, and though Sonny Styles is still developing that diagnosing ability, the potential is there for the Ohio State standout. Again, Matt Miller, ESPN draft analyst. As you've watched Ohio State film, and I know when you were watching stuff on Arvell Reese, you were really drawn to just watching Sonny Styles as a part of it. Why was that?
Because you see him all over the field. The way if Arvell Reese had missed a rush off the edge, you see Sonny Styles attack it and make it for him. His speed and burst downhill and side to side, I thought was super unique to almost anybody else on their tape. I'm not saying he's better than Arvell Reese. I'm just saying if you watch Arvell Reese, you're going to see Sonny Styles. You see him dropping coverage. His lateral movements, are good. It was backed up by his combine times. And I do think I saw one read on him that pretty much said that he wasn't as physical. I would push back and say, watch his tape. He's not afraid to attack it. Like whether they're saying he's getting pushed back, I didn't see much of it, but he has, to me, I think the smarts for it. He's got the speed for it, and he's got the range and athleticism to really commit to it. And he also played well at Ohio State as well. And we know how people perceive that football team and those players going into the NFL. To me, I told you I've compared him to directly Fred Warner for what he can mean to this defense. But a guy that I played with, Ryan Shazier, is one of the best never to do it linebackers. I feel like the league never got to see his full potential because of injury. That's who he reminds me of with the speed, size, and just ability. I'll put it this way. Whenever Shazier went out, we had to hire 2 guys to do his one job. He was good against the run, but then you also needed him to cover slot players he could or tight ends, and to be a non-issue. Coverage skills, we'll see what Sonny Styles look like in the NFL. Even if he's not here, will he be a second level, third level defender, or will he just be, one heck of an athlete? Like, there's still room for failure for Sonny Styles coming into the NFL the way I see it with most prospects in general.
Sure. Dan Brugler's Beast is out this morning at The Athletic and NewYorkTimes.com. And he has Sonny Styles with a first-round grade of, obviously, his number 4 overall player and number 1 linebacker. At 21 years of age, Sonny Styles had 182 tackles over his final 2 seasons at Ohio State. He was awarded the Block O jersey in 2025 and voted a senior captain, receiving the most votes on the team. Dan Brugler's takeaway is this. Sonny Styles is an outstanding size-speed athlete who is comfortable in space, reacts well to what he sees, and plays with the physicality to mark up the stat sheet. With elite sub-package value, he has the talent to become an impact linebacker early in his NFL career. Says he rarely misses tackles thanks to his ability to violently overwhelm the ball carrier.
That's kind of...
I like my linebackers to violently overwhelm people.
You see them run through people, not that drag down tackle stuff. No, you're going to feel him every single play, and that's what you see on his tape. I saw somebody asking yesterday, I think it was in our YouTube, it was like, what do you guys know about Sonny Styles other than him running at the combine or his combine stats? Fair assessment for people that just watch the surface level. But if you watch an entire game of his, you see him go underneath blocks, go through blocks, hit players, drop back in coverage. He checks, to me, every box. Now, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. How does this team feel about him versus somebody else? Or if you feel like, and you made this great point too, it's a non-premium NFL position, the way we categorize it right now. And a lot of teams are operating with just saying, we'll just go find another linebacker. The same way I feel about running backs, per se.
100%. And when you can go sign someone for $15 million a year at the top of their position, like Devin Lloyd just did with the Carolina Panthers, then why should you go draft someone that you can just go get in free agency? And for the people that drop into draft stuff and wonder, like, well, why does the position matter when you make first-round picks or when you're at the top of the second and things like that? There are certain positions that premium playmakers don't become available at. Right. Offensive tackle is one. Quarterback is another. Number 1 wide receiver is another. Number 1 edge rusher is another.
Those big 4.
Those are the positions that you cannot go get in free agency. And if you are able to go get them, there's a reason why that guy became available.
Yep.
Because they are easily replaceable in the eyes of the franchise that is letting them go. There's obviously the rare situation where teams are just in cap hell and have to get rid of people they would really love to keep. But that's more the exception, in my opinion, than it is the norm. And so you have guys like Devin Lloyd who are just out there to be signed.
Yep.
And at 3 years, $45 million are now playing for a different team, despite the fact that I would consider Devin Lloyd one of the top 5 to 10 inside linebackers in football right now.
Easy. But you see guys who are up in age like Trey Hendrickson, right? At edge, though. Teams are still paying a premium for players like him because those are the big 4 hot positions.
I mean, Max Crosby was going to be traded for 2 firsts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, those are the things you're getting. Trent McDuffie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
number 1 corner would be another one, 100%.
You don't find those. You have to overpay for those in free agents. Great point right there, Will.
David in Lebanon, more on football drinks this morning. Drinks at practice. What's up, David?
Morning, David.
Hey, guys. Guys, I'm 58 years old. And there wasn't no sport drinks that I could think of back in the day. Our sport drink was, you get all the kids, I grew up in the projects, we'd get all the kids together, big field, had a garden hose. That was our energy drink.
No doubt. David, since you're that age, did your coach ever give you salt tablets too?
Yeah. But also back during the time, Good Times was the thing, man. And JJ and his Kool-Aid. Everybody, I back you up on the Kool-Aid, man. Everybody was drinking Kool-Aid, especially in the projects, man. Water and Kool-Aid, that was our energy drink.
I'm telling you, that's it, man. Flavor water, that's all we was getting into, man.
Thank you, David. Appreciate
Not the Jim Jones Kool-Aid. He had Flavor-Aid.
Thank you, David.
We weren't drinking that Flavor-Aid.
I don't think you have to specify not the Jim Jones Kool-Aid.
Just saying. They misquote Kool-Aid, man. It was Flavor-Aid that Jim Jones was using. I'm terrible this
That's
morning,
hilarious.
man. I know. By the way, I saw my middle school football team too. I do remember seeing a bottle from like the 80s of like salt tablets still. We opened them up, and they were like little small brownish-looking salt pills that they were passing out to players.
It's crazy. Yeah. One of the thing we did, and speaking of the garden hose, because that is God water.
Yes,
that is glacier water that you're getting. When we would go run and get on a golf course, which we were not supposed to do, but we did it. We would try to see if there weren't any golfers around. So we'd go run on the rough, and if you saw one of those coolers, there was one specific cooler we saw, because we would do a lot of runs over at Steeplechase, the park there.
Yeah.
Because that's where the state championship was held in cross country. And there was this one cooler that we called God's water. Is this one cooler, and it was for golfers, of course. Yeah. But we would stop there. We weren't supposed to stop. We would stop there and get one of the little snow cone things, and like I would get a brain freeze. Yeah. From how cold this God's water was.
Beautifully done.
From a glacier in Alaska. Oh my gosh. Great memory.
I can hear the
Garden
story.
hose water with just you literally just do like a Gatorade cooler full of ice.
Yeah.
And then put a hose in there and just fill it up.
Fill it.
To the very top.
And leave it. And leave it for everybody.
Nothing better. That's God's sports drink.
It's like his own little oasis.
615-737-1045. There is a day two prospect. We're going to talk more about day two prospects for the Titans later in the show. There is a player being compared to A.J. Brown, who I think the Titans should pick. We'll tell you why he is compared to A.J. Brown coming up next.
United Structural Systems isn't just another repair company. They're your local foundation and waterproofing experts, y'all. They live here, they work here, and they understand exactly how Tennessee soil, weather, and homes behave. And I do mean behave, man. They've been serving homeowners across Tennessee for over 30 years. They have more than 30,000 local homeowners that have trusted United Structural Systems. That experience means they've seen every type of problems our homes face. They know how to read those signs as well. Every crack or leak tells a story, and USS knows what those signs mean. They pinpoint the problem at the source, whether it's foundation settlement, basement water intrusion, crawl space moisture issues, and more. No guesswork, just expert diagnosing from people who know Tennessee homes, man. Their repair solutions are engineered to stand to our local conditions, and I know you guys wonder why I bring it up so often. It's because we have so much of everything, whether it's wind, rain, water, bad weather, good weather, cold, hot. We got it all. But USS, they have a A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, and they also have transferable lifetime warranties on the home that you will have. For your book, you can book your free home inspection by simply visiting USSTN.com. That's USSTN.com, and make sure you tell them that Ramon sent you.
What's up? It's Will Bowling telling you about my friends at Brentwood Hearing Center. Brentwood Hearing Center's team of doctors of audiology are always committed to providing patients with the most recent hearing device technology. The kind of technology that will help you when you're out to dinner at a noisy restaurant, visiting with friends or clients outside anywhere. Spring, summer, wedding season that's coming up. You want to be able to be in the middle of those discussions and not always be asking people to repeat themselves. Maybe you've been out at the baseball game, been out of the ball field, and you're hearing the conversations behind you and around you, but not the person next to you that you actually want to hear. If you find yourself, or if you find a family member you know having difficulty hearing conversation when there's background noise, give Brentwood Hearing Center a call. 615-377-0420. They've got industry-changing hearing aid technology, which also connects directly to your smartphone or your television. 615-377-0420. You can visit them online at BrentwoodHearingCenter.com. That's Brentwood Hearing Center. Better hearing, better life. Wrapping up hour one on your Wednesday morning, Ramon and Will. 615-737-1045. So at ESPN.com, we've been going through these comparisons between draft prospects and vets. And Ramon, we talked about Chris Bell from Louisville a few weeks back when we scouted receivers. And I made the statement that on film, when I watch the cut-ups of Chris Bell, I see a little bit of A.J. Brown. Matt Bowen agrees at ESPN.com, going on the record saying a power strider at 6'2", 222, Louisville's Chris Bell has the physical profile to play through contact at multiple levels of the field, creating explosive plays with his legs. He averaged 17.1 yards per catch in 2024 and could go as high as the second round, just as A.J. Brown did in 2019. Again, that's Matt Bowen of ESPN. If Chris Bell's comp is A.J. Brown, coming off of a late season ACL injury, are you still okay with taking him with the 35th overall pick, or would you need to wait for him to fall in a trade back or to 66 to take a player like that coming off of an ACL?
I don't think he falls. I'd be okay with taking him, especially in the second round. I know there's still, help to be had for his offensive line, potentially at the guard position, maybe as a center. Somewhere you want a quality guy, but teams always think you can find those dudes everywhere. If he fits that bill right there, Will, and you can talk to him, see where he is mentally. Do you have enough vets around him to surround him and put him in a position to show him how to be a true pro? I'm in on it. Not just that, too, but what we've noticed over the last couple of years, man, is the Titans – health facility that they have over there, they've nurtured guys, I feel like, slower and better to get back as healthy as they possibly can, to get back out on the field right now, too. So I'm for it. The ACL isn't a dagger the way it used to be years ago or the way you view it now. Drafting an injured player is always going to be a question. When are you going to get him during the season? But if you feel like you can take his talents now and apply them to this team, well, I'm saying absolutely yes. My brother Renardo was at their pro day, or he was there the day before, and we were talking about Chris Bell as well, and he was just like, man, the guy reminds me of A.J. Brown. And he said the exact same thing. We hadn't had this conversation before, and said when you see him, he looks different. Now, eye test, passing. Does it, translate over to the game? It does with him.
What I love about him, too, is that he takes a lot of in-breaking routes and slants and crossers, and then will just kind of, I like to say on broadcasts, like wheel up the field.
Yeah.
Where he's literally he's turning the corner, but also maintaining full speed to run around the defense, and nobody can get a hand on him. But that comes from a slant that then allows you to get vertical. He also, though, is a good vertical route runner and contested catcher over the top of the defense. He is as versatile of a receiver as I think there is in this draft.
Right.
To be able to go up and over someone, to catch it over someone's head, or also take an underneath route and turn it into bigger yardage. And that was A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown would take a slant. He had the one in the Carson Wentz pick-6 game in the win over the Colts in Indy. And if you remember in that game, I think the Titans were down 14-0 early in that game, and he got them back on the board. It was Halloween. It was the game Derrick Henry got hurt in.
Yeah.
It was Halloween 21.
Yep.
He took a slant and then just got to the sideline and turned that corner at full speed in a way that guys built that big just don't often do. That's what I see on the film for Chris Bell.
Listen, people talk about the most exciting play in sports as a kickoff return. I think it's up there. It most definitely is. Hey, you start off a game or second half like that, absolutely. Taking a slant 60 yards, so will do numbers, man. It crushes defenses. I feel like I've seen, of course, playing with Antonio Brown. He take to your point, the same way as A.J. Brown. What's up with these Browns, by the way? The same way A.J. Brown would do.
Brown did for you.
Will beat his corner, shake him off, and then just beat the safety down the middle of the field. Those are the plays you're looking for, where you say the wide receiver makes the quarterback look better. They're looking for that type of guy still. That's what I thought Calvin was going to provide last year. I'm hoping Wandale this year for Cam provides that. But to your point, seeing that guy have that on his tape coming out of Louisville is very enticing.
I think it is. Chris Bell was the first Louisville player with 9+ catches in 3 straight games since Deion Branch in 2001. Pretty dang good.
Yeah, he's pretty solid.
25 years.
I had a partner of mine text me, was like, well, if the Titans, of course, took Jeff injured. Like, yeah, like if you believe in the talent, it matches. Like, and I told him, of course, like Caleb was also Caleb Farley was an injured player as well. You just got to know what you're getting yourself into when it comes down to those players that you want to bring in. But I like the talent, Will.
That's a tricky one for me, too, again, to talk about someone who is coming off a major injury because we don't have all the facts. We don't have the medical checks that they will have. We don't have the doctors that would have spoken with him on a visit in order to figure out where he's at this point. So, again, this is kind of where we're taking the test without all the study materials. There's a world where Chris Bell falls to the third if teams don't like the way the knee has healed and all these things. I just think in 2026 with ACL injuries, that injury and the rehab from that just isn't what it used to be.
Right.
It's about a 7 to 10 month recovery time.
Yeah, I mean,
and he had his surgery in December, so that would put him around training camp as the earliest time point. And there's some reports that he could be fully available for training camp.
Yeah, this time of year you get a lot of those.
Yeah.
That would surprise me.
But the difference between him and Jeffrey Simmons is Simmons tore his ACL in his pre-draft stuff.
Well, Kevin Winston Jr. came off an ACL last year.
True,
and
too.
remember, was available for the start of training camp. They managed his workload through all of training camp, but he didn't really even get on the field until week 3 or 4.
Okay.
And that was a September ACL injury. Yeah. I mean, they're all different, first of all, but a player like that getting used to so many different things, that there's no rush.
No.
There's no rush.
There's no rush, y'all. This offense, I guess, gives him a little bit of breathing room, too, if he needs to be worked into it.
It's the thing, too, like, somewhat similar skill set for me to Elikiah Manor.
Yeah.
You have Elikiah Manor while Chris Bell gets healthy, so then you have Chris Bell and Elikiah Manor. Like, I think you do have the bodies and the young players to be patient with someone like that with an injury. 615-737-1045. Another Tennessee basketball player is entering the transfer portal. Our thoughts on Amari Evans, the latest to exit Tennessee hoops after this.
7:01, good morning live from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. A big 5-0 win for the Nashville Predators last night over the Anaheim Ducks in Anaheim. The Preds had 5 different goal scorers, but the star of the night was goaltender Justus Annunen, who made 43 saves in the win, which is his second most saves in his career. The Ducks had 5.87 expected goals against in the game, but were unable to generate anything past Noonan, who gets Nashville their first shutout win of the year. The Preds now jump back over the LA Kings with 84 points for the second wildcard spot in the Western Conference playoff race. They'll play Utah Mammoth tomorrow night in Salt Lake City, who beat Edmonton last night 6-5 in overtime. Nashville Soccer Club and Club America ended in a 0-0 draw last night at Jonas Park, the first leg of the CONCACAF Champions Cup. The second leg will be next Tuesday in Mexico in a decisive match, which will be played at 10:30 p.m. Central Time. And in some Balls Hoops news yesterday, Tennessee freshman Amari Evans has entered the transfer portal, becoming the 7th Tennessee player to do so. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Hour number 2 of your Wednesday morning, Ramon and Will, 104.5 The Zone, 615-737-1045, the number, and streaming live on Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Tennessee basketball had another exit yesterday, and this is maybe the one that frustrates me the most, Ramon. Amari Evans is entering the transfer portal. On threes, Joe Tipton had it. 4.1 points, 3.2 rebounds, and 14.5 minutes per game. He played in 35 games and made 2 starts when Tennessee was without Nate Ament due to injury. 24 points against Vanderbilt at home on the last regular season home game. And Ramon, he now joins Cade Phillips, Jalen Carey, J.P. Estrella, Bishop Boswell, Troy Henderson, and Clarence Basamba in the transfer portal. What was your reaction seeing this yesterday?
This feels a little bit like Cam Carr situation a little bit, where you know it's going to be yours. Heck, him and Bishop Boswell feels like a version of Cam Carr where he left, to not wait or wanted more than what they were going to give him at the time too. Coach Barnes knows these guys. That's the other part to me. I feel like it's going to be super interesting how he judges them versus how other teams covet having new help come in, because you know what people love more than what they have is new stuff. It's okay, I love my toy, but I want to play with yours even though it's older, but it's new to me. That's the way I view this situation, whereas Coach Barnes and his staff or whoever the NIL department is know what they think their value is. And when you have guys, of course, like Amari Abrams that comes out. Amari Evans. That comes out and he has a monster game like he did against Vanderbilt. I'm sure that's the tape that he's selling, that he and his representation are selling, that, hey, this is what this guy's capable of. Are you willing to pay him more than what Tennessee is? And that's the thing. This open market is allowing people to go find guys they feel like can fit their system, they can get the production out of them, or just put them in a different role that they may excel in. To be quite honest with you, just to play devil's advocate, Toby Awaka benefited from it. I don't think Jonas Adu did as much at Arkansas, but Jonas still went and got a bag from Arkansas. So it's a twofold type of situation. The questions I'm asking myself when it comes down to these guys transferring out with the success that they had under Coach Barnes is kind of simple, but it's still frustrating as well, because I think when we see what Coach Barnes can provide to them, if they stick and stay around, is perfect for what the success that they've currently had. But it is, what are you going to give them as far as value? Coach Barnes seems to devalue the guys that he knows a little bit less.
Which I don't, I can't totally wrap my head around
I'm projecting that as well. I can admit that. The way I see it.
I mean, I think it's true.
I feel like with how they've come up short and how Amari Evans didn't show at times until like 1 or 2 games, that's not enough for me as the person that know you intimately every single day to give you, let's say he's at $250,000. I'm not going to give you $750,000 just based off of one good game against Vanderbilt.
I think he's probably going to get a lot more than that, too.
I know. But as far as the program is concerned and what Rick Barnes is going to ask of him, the way I see these guys leaving, it's got to be devaluation of what they think they are versus what Coach Barnes think they are as well. They got to leave. And
I don't think they have to. I mean, I just – this is the one that frustrates me the most.
It does.
Because it feels like Amari Evans fit what Tennessee wanted to be to take the next step next season. A guy that could go get you a bucket, first of all, on a team that doesn't have that at the moment. Well, I mean, they don't have anybody.
No.
They have 3 incoming freshmen signees, and right now they have Dwayne Brown and Ethan Berg. We'll see if Ethan Berg comes back too, but Amari Evans showcased a scoring ability that I think Tennessee is going to go find in the portal and have to pay more for than what they probably could have just paid to keep Amari Evans. I don't know that for a fact. I know what Austin Price told us yesterday, that overall, the overarching idea is that it costs you more to go find someone new than it is to retain who you already have.
That's true.
Here's where I think Tennessee is going, though, and I'm interested to see how this plays out. I believe that Tennessee is going to go after a smaller rotation of a higher quality player. To me, it felt like this Tennessee team last year had 8 or 9 guys that included 2 studs, 2 dudes, in Jacoby Gillespie and Nate Ament, who were your superstars. And then 7 guys who were fine, but weren't going to take over a game, weren't going to be, hey, on any given night, aside from maybe a game against South Carolina, like, oh, this is a Felix Okpara night. Like, this is the guy that's...
Strella,
let's Jalen Carey's got to have game today. Yeah. We need 20 and 8. These were solid role players. These were solid contributors who allowed Tennessee to have a deep rotation, who weren't game changers. I see Tennessee narrowing the rotation a little bit, but going for a little bit more quality and maybe not as much depth. I see Tennessee going after a well-rounded, anyone can beat you on any given night starting 5 with 2 or 3 solid rotational pieces they can bring in off the bench to change the game in a different way.
Yeah.
I don't see them maybe being as much in the middle to lower kind of tiers of the market for role players that fit maybe just what they do on defense, or maybe just what they do on this side of the ball, or just shooter. Like, I think they want a more well-rounded but smaller rotation. And I also don't really think you have much of another choice. Because if you are going to take a step forward and get game changers, and if you're going to be a Final Four team, you've got to be spending at the top of the market. And the challenge now is that you have so many roles that you've got to fill. Can you afford to go all in for Juke Harris from Wake Forest? What are you sacrificing then? Even if you get that guy for, I mean, if you're in the top 10 right now, I think you're getting $4, $5, $6 million players at times.
Yeah, absolutely.
If we think that Tennessee has a little over 10 for the roster, like, are you willing to go get a Dalton Connect kind of guy? Are you willing to go get a Nate Ament kind of guy? Because that might cost you half of your budget for the entire basketball team if you go that route. So the way you parse all that out, I think is going to be really interesting.
I agree with you there. It's going to be interesting. I also view this as we've seen other teams piece it together as quick and as easy as possible, too. I think Tennessee's going to have a bit of money to go get what they want as well. And you brought up a point, though, too, when you spoke about Amari Evans that I think resonates with what these guys are leaving or doing. You mentioned the role players that they were last year. Would I have loved to have Jalen Carey back? Absolutely. Amari Evans? Absolutely. JP is better when it's more familiar, right? But to your point about these guys just being popcorn, oh, it's your night tonight. It's your night this night. Like, when you look at Chanyelu at Florida, it's an every night thing. They got it every single night.
That's what I'm saying.
And
right. I agree.
With this group,
I agree.
As to why you say, oh, you want $500,000 more for what you did for us last year? You're not consistent enough for that. I think Coach Barnes is very truthful with those guys and saying, you're not worth that for us here. And I personally say to myself, that team did an amazing thing by getting on the right side of the bracket, I feel like, and playing really good games. But when you knew, and I think we all knew this, when they ran up against juggernauts, except for Houston this past year, nobody really consistently backed up either Jacoby Gillespie or Nate Ament often. We were looking for points in the paint, couldn't get them often. Guys get in foul trouble, find themselves out of games, messing up the rhythm. Felix Apara even at times as well. That's why I feel like you'd be better suited to go find guys, to your point, that's smaller in numbers but higher in quality. That, to me, has been the separator. Right. When you look at the good teams this year, Michigan, who just won it all, Arizona, Duke, legitimately Arkansas even at times, probably not the strongest, or Florida. Let's go with Florida. You knew that the matchups were going to just over-consume you. They were going to consume you. And that's something I feel like building this roster back, and they've done it before, is going to be a crucial part of Coach Barnes getting to this elusive Final Four with this new group of guys. I do think they have to go pay, and I do think they will.
I mean, they have no choice.
Yeah.
They have no choice. They are clearly stuck between like wanting a higher quality player and not being willing to overpay for the ones they already have, who maybe aren't higher quality players yet, but believe that they are about to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's a big risk. It's really interesting the way this is all shaken out, because we talked all season about how Tennessee had growing pains.
Yeah.
And Tennessee was not coming together as a team because you didn't have the holdovers who were supposed to stick around and carry the torch. Between Tobe Awaka to B.J. Edwards and Cam Carr, like those guys were supposed to be the culture setters in the same way that Jemai Meshack and Zakai Ziegler led the way for previous teams to understand, no, this is how we play defense.
For sure.
This is how we practice here. This is how we do a number of these things. Like, I just feel like your variance as a team and as a program may go higher. You may have a higher ceiling with a total transfer portal team. I do think you also have a lower floor. Rick Barnes has done a really good job in the portal. They didn't hit it as well this past year between Amari Abram, who did not have a major impact this past season, Jalen Carey, who was fine, but was not a total game-changing player.
Still shot.
And he wasn't expected to be a game-changer, to be fair. He was expected to be a solid post player for you, but he was just that. He was fine. But their striking out at shooting guard last year, I think, really came back to bite them.
It did.
And their inability to have a consistent three-point shooting game, and a game against a team like Michigan who's able to match your physicality underneath, and you don't have a player who can shoot over that. That's where you really saw that rear its ugly head, was in the Elite Eight games.
The thing that he has over Kim, though, is he's got history of being successful.
Well, he's got proof of concept.
Yeah.
No,
and
no question.
That's where I'm hoping this lends itself in this portal class he brings in.
Real quick, let's go to Jason in Nashville on the phones. What's up, Jason?
Morning, Jason.
Hey, guys. How are you? I love the show.
Appreciate it.
So I got a question. I'm just trying to maybe I'm a little old school, but I'm trying to wrap my mind around some of these players. If I'm Estrella or Jalen Carey and I'm getting $250K with Tennessee, and I just went to my third Elite Eight, and I have a Hall of Fame coach, why in the world would I transfer to a Wake Forest for maybe $350K and I'm out in the first round of the conference tournament? Maybe I'm more old school and I'm more honorable, and I play for the school that I love and that recruited me and spent all that time. And now I'm just going to jump ship for maybe another $75 to $100K and get put out in the first round at a Mid-American Conference or something. I just don't understand it. I'll hang up and listen. I'd love your show.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. I understand your question and your point. I don't believe that JP Estrella is leaving for only a couple $100K more.
No, I'm trying to.
Some of the numbers around JP Estrella are crazy. Let's just put it this way. If he's a top 25 player, according to On3 in the entire portal, JP Estrella could get $3 to $4 million.
That's what I was going to say. I'm trying to get confirmation if the numbers is out there.
Well, I just think, we know from the top 10 in the portal are, I think, between Xavier Lee last year, it's been reported $6 million.
$6 million.
So if that's the top, let's say $7 million is probably the top of the market this year, then you're probably talking about players 20 to 40 being between $3 to $4 million.
I would ask any Vols fans this: if he's top 10 in the portal class this year, JP,
top 30, I believe. I think he's
30?
around the 25th best player in the portal.
Is JP Estrella to you worth $3 to $4 million? Is the question I would have for you.
He's the number 34 player in the portal, the number 7 power forward.
He might not get it, but what if he came to you and asked you for $3 to $5 million? Are you paying JP Estrella? Not that he's not worth it. It's not my money. Well, it is kind of my money with the merch I buy and donate, but I'm not sure if that's $3 to $5 million worth last year.
Coming up, back to NFL draft and NFL discussion as our very good friend Aditi Kinkhabwala of CBS joins us after this.
Synergex and Low T Center have been highlighted for having the highest quality testosterone on the market. They only use pharmaceutical grade testosterone, never compounded testosterone, so you know what's going in your body. Don't settle for compounded mystery testosterone at all. Go with the safer, smoother TRT with real human providers at the Low T Center. At Synergex and Low T Center, they dose their TRT more frequently than most other clinics to make sure your testosterone levels are always optimal. Don't dip below baselines. They keep your TRT smooth and keep side effects in check as well. They also stay on top of your health with regular medical testing so they can make sure your TRT is always safe. And I will always tell you guys that in general, man, go ahead and get yourself checked out in general with those regular medical testing. Low T Center do those as well. It's not just your testosterone, it's your overall health as well. And this is something that they are some of the best at doing it. They are not just robots or computers. They're real people that understand you and take care of you the way you want to be taken care of well. Simply head over to a Low T Center around the Middle Tennessee area. Go to getmyhealthfix.com. That's getmyhealthfix.com.
Hey, it's Will Bowling. Do you have a plumbing issue at home? Whether it's that leaky faucet, a clogged drain, maybe a water heater that's gone cold, the plumbing professionals at Lee Company have your back. Available 24/7 year-round, Lee Company's licensed technicians can save you time, money, and all the stresses that come with an ill-timed plumbing issue. You can contact their award-winning team at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com for the folks with over 80 years of experience serving Middle Tennessee, trusted since 1944. When you work with Lee Company, you can take that list of things that needs to be fixed on the fridge and just hand it to them. That's what I love about Lee Company. Available 24/7 with 14 community locations, over 1,800 team members. They're in Tennessee, Kentucky, and Alabama, too. You can get them online at leecompany.com. That's Lee Company, all you need. Ramon Will on 104.5 The Zone, rolling on in hour number 2. Alongside Ramon Foster, I'm Will Bowling. Pleased to be joined by Aditi Kinkhabwala of CBS Sports. We always talk about, we've got to have Aditi on in the offseason.
Right.
Not in the grind of there's a game this week. We've finally done it here at the offseason. There really is no offseason. Of course, Aditi, as you know, with the draft coming up, though, as well. What's up? How are you?
Morning.
Great. Is this really the first time that you've called me in the quote-unquote off-season?
It can't be the first.
It's not the first, I don't feel, but it's non-football business going on.
We don't have a matchup this weekend that's hanging over our heads.
I think we did talk after the draft last year about Cam Ward. I feel like we did.
100%.
But that's draft. This is just not really football business time, correct?
Is exactly right.
I mean, it could be owners' meetings last week.
Ramon. Well, yes. I didn't go, actually, though.
You didn't? We're finding out that's probably a good thing.
Spring break. It took a long time to figure out if I was going to go, and then the tickets were expensive, and I kind of didn't want to leave my kids. And, I don't what's funny, Ramon, Will, both of you? If I don't have official duties, then I don't really love this idea of kind of hanging out in a hotel lobby and hoping to catch someone.
Sure.
I don't know. Yes, it's a really, really important thing. I don't want to downplay how much that matters to beat reporters and how conversations matter so much. It just feels like after this many years of doing this, I'm a little spoiled. I like to have a set. I like to have a place, and I like people to come to me.
Understood. I love it.
That's actually not a bad place to be at.
Not awful at all. No, absolutely. Aditi, when you kind of look at the rebranding, and I know off the field, obviously, the logo and all these things, it's not even what I'm talking about, but the resetting again of Titans football this offseason with Robert Saleh, with Brian Daboll, and giving Cam Ward help this offseason. From your perspective, and I know you were at the Combine and being around Saleh and all the coaches and all those things, but what do you kind of make of the new direction the Titans have taken this offseason and that direction under kind of the image of this new staff that's got a lot of former head coaches and not a lot of hair on it with all the bald coaches we have here?
What I'll tell you stands out the most about this is I'll go back to a conversation I had on the field with Mike, with the GM, late in the season. I'm trying to remember what game it was. I don't know when, but I was on the field and we were talking about culture. And this is a conversation actually that I've had with a lot of people about the Titans' young players, and that is that they love ball. So we're talking about guys like Chimere Dike, Cam Ward, Kevin Winston. These guys are just all about ball. They're all in. They're working hard, and you can tell the difference. You can tell the difference between somebody who plays football because he loves football and somebody who plays football because he loves everything that comes with being a football player. Ramon, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Absolutely.
Very distinct. Okay, so these young Titans players, this core, very clearly were guys that loved ball. And I remember talking to Mike Borgonzi about culture and resetting things. And the Titans have brought in so many guys that have these personal connections, be it to Brian Daboll, Robert Saleh, somebody on the staff. They're guys that the coaches can vouch for. They are these coaches' guys, which means that the Titans are all in on this culture idea, all in on we need a roster top to bottom that are guys that love ball, that are our types of guys, that are fully committed to what we want to be committed to. And the reason I think that that's so important is I'll go back to a production meeting that I had with Robert Saleh. This would have been in 2022. It was week 2 of 20. Was it week 2 or week 1? Week 2. It was week 2. The Jets were at the Browns. Mm-hmm. And Robert Saleh was telling our crew that it takes a few years, that he feels like it's taken a few years, it will take a few years to get his type of guys who are guys that are all about ball. That it took a little while to weed out the guys that weren't necessarily in his image. are ready to play the way that he wanted to play. And it looks like in this one off season, the Titans are really committed to doing it and getting it done. And that's what you learn, right? Like a guy like Robert Saleh, who openly told me at the Combine, he's a very different head coach this time around than he was the first time.
And that's where I want to go. We're joined by Aditi Kinkhabwala this morning, CBS Sports. Aditi, with that being said, is there an alternative universe where Robert Saleh could have been successful with the New York Jets? And in your conversations with him, why didn't that work, if you have any understanding of it? And what do you see differently now?
Ramon, I'm gonna interrupt you.
Yeah.
Tell me the last Jets coach that did have success.
This is fair.
I was probably in elementary school.
Do we go back to Rex Ryan?
Rex,
is that? Yeah. I mean, how long ago was that?
Yeah.
That was when I was brand new to covering the NFL.
That's 2009.
I was a young buck.
Yes.
I wasn't married. I didn't have kids.
Man.
I was living the single life in Hoboken, New Jersey. I don't even know if I was 30 years old at that time.
The life.
I mean, it's been a long. Seriously,
Yeah.
it makes me tired just thinking about that. Life, by the way.
Yeah.
I think that there are so many factors at play there that without disparaging anybody, I think it's a really, really, really hard place to succeed, as many, many coaches would tell you, and you're not necessarily given the amount of time to make it happen, or the roster, or the freedom, or any of those things. And so it's hard to judge him entirely on that.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say. But he has worked with tremendous coaches, and he is very open to learning from people and learning how to be better. And I think once you've been in that seat, you get a better sense of what it actually feels like and what it takes. And I think I would expect him to be better. He's a very smart man, and I would expect him to be better. And he's certainly not a slave to ego, meaning that it's not as if he's the type of guy who thinks, hey, there's only one way to do something. And bringing in so many coaches with such great experience who have very strong personalities. I mean, Brian Daboll's no shrinking violet. He's got very strong thoughts, a lot of confidence. He's a really good offensive coach, too. Think about how Josh Allen became so much more accurate. It's good. I think that when a coach is willing to bring so many coaches that have such experience that says, hey, I want essentially a team of rivals. I want smart minds around me. I want people who will disagree when it's necessary to disagree. I want people to bring their experiences. And that's part of it too. You know, we hear this, like I'll go back to Kevin Stefanski talking about how valuable it was to have Bill Callahan on one side and Jim Schwartz on the other, and going to them about, you know, experiences that they had. And something may happen that Saleh's never dealt with as a head coach, but maybe Daboll dealt with it as a head coach. And Daboll also doesn't have the ego. He would say, hey, when this happened in New York, I did this, but I should have done that.
Mm-hmm. Aditi,
I mean, having smart coaches, having smart, experienced coaches around you, and being willing to listen to them is a really big deal.
It is.
So I do remember now, too, the last time we did talk with you was as the Titans were in the head coach search, because that was in the part of the head coaching search where Kevin Stefanski was thrown out as an option here. And I remember asking you the question, what's the kind of personality that's going to go best with Cam Ward? And from what we have learned already about Brian Daboll, it feels to me like the Titans have found a coach who's going to be able to tell Cam Ward no, and Cam Ward may not like it, but I think is going to respond well with it. Because, Aditi, from my perspective, they speak the same language, and that's a very good thing for, I think, both parties.
Okay, so I think in my experiences with Cam Ward, he is so driven to be excellent that he will take to hard coaching. Cam Ward is no shrinking violet. He's not somebody who's got this soft ego. Yes. Sorry, my son is asking if his clothes would match. Isn't that wonderful? He's 10 years old.
I love that.
If only my husband would ask me, then maybe he'd dress a little bit better. But anyhow. So So Cam Ward definitely can take hard coaching, and Brian Daboll is not afraid to give a little, what can you say on the radio, guff to his players.
Yeah.
I've got a great story. So last year, Russell Wilson comes in to the Giants, and Russ looked a little bit, let's say, big, a little bit pudgy.
Fluffy.
To what Daboll wanted. So Daboll let him know and was not shy about telling, what's Russ's nickname? Mr. What? What does he call himself?
Unlimited.
Yes. He wasn't afraid to tell Mr. Unlimited that he needed to drop some weight.
Wow.
And Russ responded to it in a great way because he did indeed drop the weight. If you remember at the start of the Giants season, he was slimmer than he'd been in quite some time. So I say this about Todd Monken. There are certain coaches who are not afraid of superstars.
Yeah.
Remember Todd Monken standing on the podium and calling out Lamar Jackson for not practicing every day?
Right.
Not every coach is willing to do that in this day and age when you've got players making so much money, when they're the face of the franchise, when they own their own brands. But Daboll's not a guy who's afraid to do that. And in my experience, I don't expect Saleh to be that kind of guy either.
No doubt about it. Aditi, you mentioned culture as just being a part of it as well, and how Robert Saleh is trying to get to that point of establishing too with guys that want to work hard too. I'm interested in seeing what the second year is going to be like with the comparison with Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. Aditi, what is that going to look like? I know Cam's the #1 overall pick, but Shedeur has a lot of coverage across the NFL. Is that even a conversation in Cleveland now as he's changed his number as well? And with Cleveland trying to push back draft picks with, how many you can trade away, maybe because of Deshaun, who knows? But How is that scenario working out, I feel like, in Cleveland?
Yeah, well, you heard Jimmy Haslam last week say that he expected Deshaun Watson to compete, and he expected lots of things out of him. And I don't think it's a done deal that Shedeur Sanders is the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. And I wouldn't – he and Cam Ward are not – my expectations – for what Cam will be capable of doing this year are certainly higher.
Okay.
Let's just leave it at that.
For sure.
That's okay.
I understand.
This is why, in the off season, I'm not as nimble as I usually am, and I'm trying to dance around certain topics.
I understand.
We all have to get boned up on parsing our words and making sure we're saying things the way we want to say them and not getting ourselves in trouble.
No doubt. Absolutely.
I'm not in mid-season form. That's where I'm in vacation form, I guess.
It's all good. With that being said, though, too, you did cover the combine as well. Aditi, what do you call that? Because Will and I have had numerous discussions about who the Titans are going to take at number 4. Have you found out the more and more you've been around the NFL that event isn't an event of praise, but it's an event of how can I critique you?
Yeah. In a lot of ways, sure, yes. I don't. We just live in a day and age where it's so easy to rip. It's so easy to look at the negative. It's so easy to have a hot take, a quick opinion, a decision. And it's hard to make any sort of, what do they say about draft picks? So you don't actually know who's had the best draft or how successful a pick was for at least 3 years. Is that it?
Yep.
And so yes, you absolutely expect your first pick and hopefully your first and second pick to make immediate impacts. That's what you want, but even a 1-year impact doesn't tell you the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of, you mentioned the Browns. Think about the Travis Hunter trade. The Jags, the Browns got an unbelievable player out of Mason Graham. They got the picks. They're in this great position. Travis Hunter, unfortunately, got hurt, wasn't able to do much. Snack. I'm so sorry. Ramon Will, this is when my kids are leaving, and my daughter makes snack unbelievably difficult. We have these little bento boxes, and my son makes it so easy because I just pack him pretzels and cheese and grapes in his snack box.
There is no off season to putting snacks together, right?
Yeah.
We get it, 100%.
But my daughter refuses to take the snack box. So then every day it's this, well, am I taking this granola bar? Am I taking that granola bar? Am I taking Cheez-Its? But I don't actually want Cheez-Its. And you're not allowed to have nuts. So that complicates matters.
It's fair.
And now so now she's taking Minecraft fruit snacks.
Absolutely.
So my 10-year-old takes grapes, cheese, and pretzels. And this one takes sugar.
This is the scouting report I'm here for during draft season. I love it. I love it. Aditi Kinkhabwala with the CBS Sports. Aditi, always great to catch up with you.
Am I revealing too much of my parenting?
No, we love to hear this. There are a lot of people driving around Middle Tennessee nodding their heads going, yep, with you.
Been there.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely. Aditi, thank you for the time as always. You're always busy.
Are either of you coming to Pittsburgh? Are either of you coming to my adopted city for the big event?
I'll be working and so will.
Yeah, we'll be working in
I'll be
Nashville.
working too.
We will not be there. To answer your question, no.
Listen, Miss, I don't want to go to conventions anymore because I need a set. Come on, Aditi.
But see, I would assume you'd have one. I mean, wouldn't it be incredibly important for you to be the first person to interview whoever the Titans choose?
That's true, but
the power of Zoom will allow that.
Yeah, the power.
You'll have to trust the interview I do, right? Because at the draft, I do indeed have my little carved out spot.
So then, there we go. That's another time for an off-season visit we can schedule down the road to talk about whoever the Titans have. I love it. Aditi Kinkhabwala with us.
Thanks so much for having me.
Man,
as always. Absolutely. Good to talk to you.
Thanks, Aditi.
Bye.
See you.
All right, Aditi Kinkhabwala with us. Even when she's not working on football, she's always working. And she is also always working on football.
Always working on football.
Coming up, the Nashville Predators. Big bounce back win last night. Plus Nashville SC in action against Club America. We've got reaction to that next. Wrapping up hour 2, the first half of Wednesday morning. Ramon and Will. Preds 5-0 last night at the Honda Center to take down the Anaheim Ducks and move past the LA Kings, who still have a game in hand, for the final wild card spot in the Western Conference. 3 points ahead of San Jose. This was a big deal, and it didn't start off great. Anaheim all over the Preds. Anaheim the better team. And the Preds kept chipping away, got a power play, and that really kind of turned the tables over. We talk a lot, Ramon, about how this time of year you need a goaltender to stand on their head. Well, the Preds had a goaltender stand on his head last night. It just wasn't UC Saros. It was Justus Anunen, who finished with 43 saves, a season high, earning, I can't believe this. This is true, the first Preds shutout of the season.
You are correct.
It's April 7th.
Yeah, it's been
the first Preds shutout of the season, and it didn't even come from UC Saros.
Not great goaltending this year.
Oof. Yeah. Good to 6.
Is this what you've been saying, too, as far as the contract goes with him, too? It's like,
exactly.
Where's this coming from?
Yeah, if you're getting $8 million a year, you got to have some shutouts before April.
Year?
Yeah, he's not.
Or he's 7, or he's around that.
I mean, either way.
He's not living up to what his potential should be. 5.87 expected goals against last night.
Oh.
The Ducks were putting it on him, and Justus Anunen absolutely just handled it.
Yeah, he was excellent.
It kind of begs to make you think of, like, okay, you got some really good high-caliber games coming up. Utah tomorrow night. Do you play them again? Do you ride the hot hand? We've seen Nashville SC do this in the past before, where you ride the hot hand in the Leagues Cup.
Apples and oranges, but I see where your head's at.
Do you ride the hot hand of Saros is not really getting the job done? Plus, Utah, I was looking this up earlier because we were talking about it in the chat. Utah, the last 5 games, is averaging 5.8 goals against, or 4, rather. They're scoring on a clip.
That's nice. Are you pleased now, Hawk?
Am I pleased?
Yes.
What should I be pleased about?
About them winning.
A 5-0 win over Anaheim.
Like,
pleased with the win. But
you're not satisfied.
When it's good, we got to call it good, too.
It is good. It is good. But it still leaves you with questions of what the goaltending and the defense is, because you allowed 43 shots against last night. But
43. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
That's a whole lot.
Okay.
You probably average around like 28, maybe 30. 43 is a lot. 43 is a lot. That means Anaheim was in your defensive zone quite a bit. And, yeah.
Where are the breakdowns coming from then when you speak about allowing that many? Because if it's, hey, you're allowing 300 yards or 250 yards on the ground, like I know where it's at. It's probably the D-line getting their butts whipped, right?
Yeah, it's like puck protection and your defensive zone, the neutral zone.
Breakdowns.
Yeah. It's
everywhere.
Kind of like what I was talking about.
Okay, breakdowns everywhere?
Yeah,
okay.
Pretty much. It just goes back to what I've been talking about as far as the defense not living up to what they're supposed to be in front of UC Saros or insert name goaltender here. But you just had a goaltender last night that stepped up to the plate.
2 straight games with shorthanded goals as well. Eric Halla had the one, or I guess that wasn't 2 straight. Eric Halla had the one over the weekend against San Jose in the win. And then last night, Brady Shea. Great move by Ryan O'Reilly, too, to set him up. Ryan O'Reilly has been a model citizen.
Yep.
Ryan O'Reilly I know he was hard on himself early in the season on how slowly he started. He's not the only one. I mean, Steven Stamkos was terrible at the start of the season. And another 40-goal season for him. Philip Forsberg is knocking on the door of his third 40-goal season now. The heater that Phil has been on, kind of similar to what Stamkos was doing around Christmas and kind of around January when he really started to catch fire.
February.
Who?
Phil Brewery. Have you ever heard of that, Ramon?
No.
Philip Forsberg starts his elite.
You think Ramon's heard of February? I say that with all due respect.
No, you are spot on with that one. Don't apologize for that.
Basically, starting in February after the All-Star break, Forsberg really has known to really turn it on, and he's done it again.
Okay. Hockey loves a nickname. Like hockey's got to have a nickname for everything. Warm-ups are called warmies.
What? Jerseys are called shirts. What do they call the jerseys?
Jerseys.
Sweaters.
Sweaters.
Yeah, they call them sweaters.
Just did that. I'm old man shaking fist at Sky. No, it doesn't. It's just like it.
We don't need everybody to have a nickname.
Let me stop. Let me be more positive. Preds had a great win last night.
For my hockey consumers, as you guys are and have been here and consuming the Preds, what's so different about these squads currently that the 2017 teams were having? Like, how far have they strayed? Like, you can say in the era, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can go back to Jeff Fisher era. We can go back to, the 99, Love You Blues. We can do all of those.
Well, I'll start with, first of all, those teams had a defensive identity that started with goaltending and defense that this team does not have.
Okay.
I mean, the second line pairing back then of Ekholm and Ellis was tremendous.
You had a top four. Your top
Yossi
four
Ellis,
was
Ekholm, Subban.
your top four was the best top four in the league.
Right. Was this by mistake? Right. Did they get gifted this?
No, they were homegrown.
They were homegrown.
Not totally, but
Ekholm was a draft pick. Yossi was a draft pick. Subban was a trade
agent. Trade.
But they used Shea Weber to get to him, and Weber was homegrown. So, I mean, they've just not done well enough in their drafts. And again, I mean, it's kind of similar to what the Titans have been. The simplest way to put it is they've not drafted enough good players. That's forced them to go to free agency and sign a bunch of aging guys who are there available for a reason.
Okay.
That's just the simplest way to put it.
Their trades and their free agent acquisitions have just been duds.
Yeah, for sure.
Essentially. And back in 2017, most of that talent was homegrown or very solid depth pieces that when the playoff time came rolling around, they all were clicking on a high cylinder that was unstoppable to beat to a certain extent until you got to the final. But now you're relying so much on money spent and bad draft.
And bad goaltending comparatively because Pekarine's not walking through that door.
Yeah.
That's the easiest thing to say is dropped off. The quality of your deep pairings and goaltending.
That's funny you say that. Lonzo said the same thing, no Pekka.
I mean, that's the simplest way to look at it. Yeah,
Pekka was fantastic.
Sure. You have more of the 40-goal scorers. Like, you feel like you have more dynamic attacking. A lot of those guys are just old. So, last night at Geodis, Nashville SC, Club America, scoreless, heading to leg 2. Really kind of a similar situation to what they had against Miami. Brian Schwacke made 4 saves for his 4th shutout in 5 CONCACAF Champions Cup matches. 7th clean sheet for Brian Schwacke and for NSC in 2026. Just a couple of chances that Nashville attackers will feel like they've got to put away in this match. I thought, again, it really is just second verse, same as the first of what we talked about with Miami. Nashville, the better team, the better chances. Club America started to waste time and started to really just go into defensive mode pretty early into the second half. Nashville was all over them in the second half. And a team in Club America that typically dominates possession was not on the ball nearly as much as Nashville was. And that was, I think, the really surprising thing to me. I'm not surprised that Nashville SC was better than Club America on the night. I was a bit surprised at how much of the ball Nashville ended up having. NSC had 56% possession, 13 shots to 8, 2 big chances to 1, and the expected goals 0.8 to 0.4. So really the metrics and the analytics would tell you Nashville probably deserved at least a 1-0 win on the night, and now has a lot of work to do in front of 80,000 plus people in Mexico City next Tuesday at 10:30 p.m.
Real quick, did you think it was a bit of a sloppy game? A lot of bad crosses, a lot of bad shots, some bad touches. Especially that Alex Mule should have been goal at the very end there. Just got to get over the ball. He's leaning back a little bit. Need to figure out how to place the ball rather than just power it. Surridge also had a moment like that too. I just felt it was a little bit sloppy in their offensive third there. But. Yeah,
it's just there just wasn't much in it. I mean, that's a really good defensive team for Club America that just didn't give you a lot of space. Yeah. Tricky one. So we go again next Tuesday. And at Charlotte on Saturday night here on the Zone. Okay. Coming up, Adam Schefter with some interesting comments on veteran wide receivers who are still available. Should the Titans be interested in any of them? That's next. What's going on? It's Will Bowling. Springtime means allergy time, and it means spring cleaning time. If you're looking at carpet cleaners, you're looking at someone to come in and really make things spotless around the house, try out Zero Res. They're offering you a deal right now. 3 carpeted rooms plus a hallway for $149. And carpet is the number one air filter inside the home. Zero Res is going to clean it better than anybody because Zero Res is not going to leave harsh chemicals. Zero Res is not going to leave that soil attracting residue behind, like inside the carpet. A clean filter means a healthier home. A clean carpet means a healthier home. You're going to love what Zero Res is able to do for you. ZeroResNashville.com is the website. Just Google them. Check out the reviews. It's excellent. Over 4,800 reviews. The Facebook reviews, 98% recommend Zero Res because it's a smarter, lasting clean. Call them at 615-535-9376. That's 615-535-9376. Or book online at ZeroResNashville.com. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean. And don't forget to ask about their air duct cleaning.
8:04, good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. A big 5-0 win for the Nashville Predators last night over the Anaheim Ducks. The Preds had 5 different goal scorers, but the star of the night was goaltender Justus Anonen, who made 43 saves in the win, which is his second most in his career. The Ducks had 5.87 goals expected against, but were unable to generate anything past Anonen, who gets Nashville their first shutout win of the year. The Preds now jump back over the LA Kings with 84 points on the year in that second wildcard spot in the Western Conference playoffs. Next up is the Utah Mammoth tomorrow night, Salt Lake City, who beat Edmonton last night 6-5 in an overtime win. Nashville Soccer Club and Club America ended in a 0-0 draw last night at Geodis Park in the first leg of the CONCACAF Champions Cup. The second leg will be held next Tuesday in Mexico in a decisive match, which will be played at 10:30 p.m. Central Time. And in some ball hoops news yesterday, Tennessee freshman Amari Evans has entered the transfer portal, which becomes the 7th Tennessee player to do so. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans involves. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Second half of the show, in hour 3, getting started on Ramon and Will. He is the 11-year NFL vet, Ramon Foster. I'm Will Bowling. It's a good morning when Ramon has got film on his laptop, like in breaks, and showing me stuff. And you all will benefit from that knowledge as well coming up in 15 minutes. We're talking about ideal day 2 options for the Titans. Because the 4th pick is going to come, it's going to go, and then all of a sudden we're going to be sitting here on a Friday morning, coming up here in a few weeks, like, all right, who now?
Yeah.
Because the Titans' odds are going to have a starter come out of day 2. Most teams will have a starter come out of day 2, potentially right away. So for a team that has needs at guard, needs on the offensive line to maybe set up their running back for success, we'll ask Ramon on his favorite day 2 offensive line picks.
No doubt about it. I'm saying some guys, of course, and everybody has their deficiencies. We were talking to Big Boss Burt yesterday, too, and just like this entire class has a lot of good, but every good that they have, there's a knock somewhere. It's the same thing with even with the projected number 1 overall pick, Fernando Mendoza. You love what Mendoza is, but you have questions about him. Like, how much of it was the older team that he was playing around? Can he go to a bad team and make that team that much better? You have questions about maybe not Jeremiah Love. Not as much. Only question you have about him is, can he apply gravity to his game?
Is he worthy of the 4th pick?
Well, yeah, it's that part too. Question. Like, is he worthy of the 4th pick? I was, trying to make a gravity joke there as we're watching NASA circle the moon and stuff. But he's staying on the ground. It's every single prospect has something. How can you surround him? I think that's going to be a better question, Will. It's going to be a better conversation about the second day selections that also have to be played out for the Titans. And just, I've always been of the mindset and kind of try to push that as much as I possibly can. Don't just focus on the first round pick. The second round, third round, fourth round guys are very premium positions as well. Those are your team building, filler, future starters, and turn themselves into Pro Bowls, Derrick Henry and A.J. Brown. Sure. Like, these are the types of guys that still come in second and third round picks.
Important building blocks, no doubt.
Important, very important.
Mm-hmm. Adam Schefter on his podcast this week had some interesting thoughts on veteran wide receivers. I'm curious if you think the Titans should be in the market for any of these guys. Adam Schefter had this to say.
There's still a bunch of wide receiver names out there. Can you kind of run down the list of some of the kind of, I guess you could say, marquee names almost that are still available?
If you're a team that needs a wide receiver right now on April 7th, Ty, and I would imagine we may get a little bit of movement on this leading into the draft. As we tape this, all of these players are free. But check out the decorated list of names at the wide receiver position as we get closer to the draft later this month in Pittsburgh. Ready? Deebo Samuel, Jawan Jennings, Tyreek Hill, Odell Beckham Jr., DeAndre Hopkins, Stephon Diggs. That's a decorated list of free agent wide receivers still on the street still looking for work. I wouldn't be shocked if we saw a couple of these names added to teams right before the draft. Somebody trying to get some reinforcements right before the draft to take off some of the need that they have at the receiver position. But my point also is that you rarely get to April and see 6 huge names at the receiver, any position, still sitting out there.
So that's Adam Schefter in his podcast. Ramon, why do you think that these names are still available at this point of the offseason?
They still have flaws in their game. Like, is Deebo Samuel's just good for the San Francisco 49ers, right? I think they're typecasted, a good bit of them. Tyreek is still coming off his injury. Jawan Jennings is a guy that's very much typecast. You got to have a role specifically for these guys. Like, these guys are stars for their teams. Washington traded for Deebo Samuel, didn't net anything with what the San Francisco 49ers did as well. And I think age is somewhat playing a part in it. Also, the wide receiver market is higher than it has been for these types of dudes too. And there's a lot of young talent that's coming out. And here's the other part too, young talent with a little bit of age on them and experience. So if you can get those guys for cheaper, especially when we're talking about a second tier now in their careers, third tier wide receivers, I'd much rather go younger and go cheaper and build those guys up. That way I can cultivate them a little bit better than saying this is just what Deebo Samuel does. And not just that, I got to deal with a little bit of the headache that comes with veterans that want the ball in their hand, and you're trying to continually build higher and better. Diggs, another one. Other than the legal stuff as well.
Felony charges related to an alleged assault on a former personal chef for Stephon Diggs.
You have to carve out roles for these guys. If Jawan Jennings does come here, I think he can be a weapon for you. But how much does it, stunt the growth of Chimere Dike or Elikai Manor as well? Not just that, but you got Wandale, who's going to be a numbers guy. He's got to have the ball on top of Calvin. Before free agency started, I thought, yes, Jawan Jennings can be a nice piece here. He'd walk into your number 3 role or just a possession guy in general. I don't know if he fits that here for the Titans. And not only just that, each one of these dudes, Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, Jawan Jennings, and Deebo Samuel, all are going to be asking for, I think, well, I would guess they want above $12 million a year still. I mean, 2 of them coming off injuries and Deebo's on the rehab, and Jawan overplayed his market. I don't know. This is surprising. Jawan Jennings isn't a old veteran. This isn't, AJ Green, years back or, something like that where you're just trying to find a home. This is a young enough player that could be a 2/3 on your team. And clearly he's typecasted into whatever role the 49ers fit for him.
It was interesting, too, because I think of Jawan Jennings as a big slot. Last season, 642 snaps out wide, 238 in the slot. Still very capable of being an outside receiver and being a chain mover.
Mm-hmm.
The question the Titans have to ask is, do we already have a younger version of Jawan Jennings and Elikai Manor? I see some of the same skill sets as combat catchers, as strong-handed, big physical wide receivers. Jawan Jennings has already done it.
Yeah.
It is going to have to be paid accordingly. That's the question you're asking with the point of the rebuild the Titans are in right now. Is it worth stunting the growth of some young players that I believe in to go get veterans who could do the job as well? It's the same question they have to ask on the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
What is the value of Austin Schlottman versus someone you invested draft capital in Jackson Slater? If you go draft someone on day 2 to play right guard, is that someone that needs a Joel Bitonio to come in and play right away in front of them? Is that person worth investing in now because we're in a rebuild and we need time on task for young players that we got to know and have answers on? Like that to me tells me that the Titans understand this is still a process that is not yet done to the level of competitiveness. And they want to be competitive, obviously. They want to put a team on the field they feel like can win games. But if you felt like you were ready to really compete in the AFC South, I still think you probably make another move at wide receiver, whether that's high-level draft capital or a player like Juwan Jennings or Stephon Diggs, who both have ties to this coaching staff.
I'm glad you put it that way, though, too, because I think every fan base, for the most part, goes into it expecting this could be our year. We've seen a couple of teams with new head coaches or young quarterbacks go to the Super Bowl. Cincinnati Bengals, the most recent ones to do it, right? With a team that I don't think anybody expected to go to the Super Bowl. Patriots did it this past year as well. And that's not the reality, though, too. Right. Because you mentioned this as well. Like, who are you bringing in and what are you asking those guys to do? Because the other part of the NFL that has to be talked about more is, well, you do have to take a day 2 pick and start him young and hope he grows. Patriots did the same thing with their offensive line on the left side, the entire left side, rookies. The grow-up factor that's overlooked in the NFL because free agency hides it is, I think, a bit flagrant at times as far as thinking to yourself, you can't start young guys. You can't start developmental guys to make them better, to let them grow and they not be first rounders. This second, third, fourth round, and even later in this draft is a part, Will, to where you just said, like, they're still building up to making this team sustainable for the long term, and chasing these wide receivers or another guard might be counterproductive for the long term.
This is the practical example, in my opinion, of what Chad Brinker said when he was originally elevated to president of football. We want touchdowns, not first downs.
Yes.
This is, I think, what that practically looks like. Fair?
Very much so.
To say signing Juwan Jennings and putting Elikai Amander more to the side and Chimere DK more to the side is a first down. That is something that makes our football team better in 2026. But at the expense of maybe understanding that, hey, maybe we actually have someone in-house who can already do that. They just need to actually go and do it. Mm-hmm. They need the opportunity and the space to be on the football field. Because what if Elikai Amander is a Juwan Jennings in the making? Because Juwan Jennings had to take time and time on task and time playing for San Francisco to become a player that was worthy of a $10 to $15 million contract valuation in free agency. Yeah. If he didn't get that opportunity to play, then what's a Juwan Jennings?
Exactly.
If you just keep going and replacing those guys in free agency. So there is a balance here of taking the right calculated risks and investing in the right young players to say, Elikai Amander showed us flashes last year. Can we turn those flashes with a new staff and system into more consistency, more catches, and more of what Jennings is going to be able to bring us anyway?
And it's growing pains in that. It might hurt a year or two or through a stretch of games where that young guy is not above the line. But that's also part of it. It's what good is your scouting department if you don't believe in your young guys? I'm a true believer that you have to have the right amount of vets around to live that life as well. And I think defensively they have it. When you look at some of the pieces offensively, JC Latham needs to be in a leadership growth mode this year. Right. Because he's going to have either a new guy again at right guard or a young guy, both the same. And that's where, to me, scouting has to do their job. They gotta hit on those second, third round, fourth, fifth round picks as well.
For sure.
Because that's where you also keep your team cheaper. There's balance. There's also, with those dudes too, the non-first rounders, there's a different buy-in. And I say that with all due respect to the first rounders.
Yep.
A little bit of entitlement. There's higher expectation for the first rounders.
Sure.
But for guys that are after that, Will, the grind, the outlook is that much more different.
Sure.
I'd have been I hate to think what I've been if I was a first round pick. I feel like my natural drive would have been there, but when guys are getting it out the mud, as we like to see, those are the dudes that you want on your team because them going to be your fighters, your cornerstone guys.
I think that the best case, and we're going to talk about day 2 options for the Titans in a minute. I think you draft Chris Bell. I think that's the ultimate, and I don't want to get too fixated on just one guy, but I think there are enough boundary X receivers available in this draft to go get that guy in the draft. We'll talk about more of those options coming up next.
It happens all the time. You go to buy a game day ticket or a hotel room, and when you check out, there are a bunch of add-ons and fees that are set totally change the price. The same thing happens at car dealerships. You see one price online, and then you go to the dealership and you find out they've added a bunch of accessories or service plans that you did not know about. I'm here to tell you, not at Two Rivers Ford. At Two Rivers Ford, the price you see online is the price that you pay. Everything is transparent and upfront. No bait and switch, no funny business at all. Just honest pricing from a family-owned dealership that I believe and trust in. They just do good business. I promise you guys that, man. There's a reason Two Rivers Ford has been the Middle Tennessee's award-winning Ford dealers for decades, man. They're local, honest, real. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%, and most people are only making the minimum payment, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, it's Will Boulding, but here's what homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit cards, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and save over $1,500 a month. And here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out of pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long, drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at near 3-year lows, so act now. Call Loan Pronto or go to loanpronto.com. See how much cash you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 five-star Google reviews. Call them at 615-499-5780 or visit loanpronto.com, 615-499-5780 at loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. Ramon Will on 104.5 The Zone. Hour 3 rolls on. 615-737-1045. Ramon, you've been watching some O-line film this morning.
I have, man. Absolutely. The process of any offensive weapons is you got to have guys that can actually block long enough so that those weapons can show their talents.
It's true. Is there a player, and is there a guard specifically, who makes sense on day 2 as a plug-and-play starter for the Tennessee Titans that stands out over the rest?
I like Chase Basantis. I actually do.
Okay.
I actually like him. It's the big three that they'll have the opportunities to go pick in the second round. Vega Awani.
Vega Awani is a first-round pick.
Is a first-round pick.
Yeah, I think he is.
It looks like it.
I think he's a top 20 player of this draft.
If you've ever seen a perennial Polynesian player, and hopefully I'm respectfully putting this correctly in his culture, he fits it. Big body, lowers is good, moves like he's in a marching band, feet just stomping the ground, but light on his feet at the same time. Vega Awani is in a league of his own with this one. Now, Chase Basantis, Emmanuel Pregnon, and Keelan Rutledge are 3 guys I feel like the Titans could use either one of them. Only pushback I have on Chase Basantis is he's a left guard. When you're drafting that high, you usually don't change guys over. Emmanuel Pregnon's played both sides. He's played left and right. I think he's serviceable at either one of them and could be a day one starter if you put him in because of his height, his size, and the program, to be quite honest with you, that he's played in. Keelan Rutledge, I know is a guy that Ben Jones loved as well, and we can break each one of these guys down.
Rutledge went from MTSU to Georgia Tech.
Bring him back to Middle Tennessee, baby. But again, with them picking it early in the second round, it will boil down to, one, how they love him, and also where they scouted him at, because I might like Keelan Rutledge, but some would probably have him third out of the top 3 guys at that spot.
Let's start with Chase Basantis because he is the player that you brought up first. A guard from Texas A&M with almost 2,000 career snaps played. Really good athlete, 9.84 relative athletic score, 2 sacks allowed in the last 2 years, 8 penalties in 2025 for Chase Basantis from Texas A&M. Why was he the name that came to the top of your head first when you look at interior offensive line plug-and-play starters on day 2?
Fluid mover at 6'5", 315. That says a lot about him. When you see it, he doesn't look 6'5", 215. Now, I'll compare him to Keelan Rutledge. When you look at Keelan Rutledge, he does look that big at both sides. Okay, let me stick with Chase. Chase has no wasted movement in his game. He's quick. He trusts his feet immensely. When you see him, he is the epitome of pick him up, put him down. His feet never stop moving. He's like a 1940 secretary on the typewriter, continually typing. Okay, and what's the people that type in the courtrooms? Stenographers. That's his feet at all times. His hands are good. He's athletic enough to me to where he could lose and recover at any point in time. One of his knocks has been his arm length, I think.
Yes.
He's got the shortest arms, although it's longer than Reuben Baines, reportedly. It's 32 inches on his arms. His athleticism covers that up, in my personal opinion. When guys get into him, he's quick to get their hands off of him. I was telling Will and on the break, he has a knack for penalties, is what I saw. One of those penalties is what he uses as a part of his game. He will snatch you. What I mean by that is if you are running into him and laying your weight on him, he will pull you down. What has happened in the NFL over a certain amount of years is defensive players have complained about this, and now referees throw flags on it because that's essentially defensive holding, the opposite of defensive holding, where you're snatching them down. I love that technique. The thing is, you got to be able to just break their hands and make them fall to the ground. He's pulling them to the ground. If you see his tape, it's all over. His run is solid, not great, but his pass pro is elite. The issue that you have for him is he's played, if I'm not mistaken, primarily left guard, and you have a first-round draft pick at guard by the name of Peter Skoronski. So I don't know if you want to be in that business.
Interesting.
And the only reason I bring that up is we had a higher-ranked guard come out, David DeCastro. I was playing right guard at the time. David DeCastro was a right guard at Stanford. Dave ended up getting right guard. I moved to left guard.
Sure. Okay. 3-year starter at Texas A&M from Ramsey, New Jersey. Dame Brugler saying Basantis brought blue-collar New Jersey work ethic to Texas and developed into a well-rounded blocker. Said in the run game, he is strong as an ox to torque defenders on down blocks and shows the efficient movements to seal the backside or pick off defenders as a puller.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Chase Basantis.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Pregnon is really interesting to me because when I watch his cut-ups, I think he is a legit day 2 option here. He is a people mover, Ramon.
Yes, he is.
At 6'4", 314, 5'2", 140, 33 and 5/8 inch arms. He is a long, lengthy interior lineman.
Mm-hmm.
What are the positives on Emmanuel Pregnon, the 24-year-old, soon to be 25-year-old in October, left guard from Oregon?
Oh, you was right. Left and right guard.
Okay. He was left for Will Stein. At Oregon. 1-year starter at Oregon.
Yeah, left and right guard is what he is. Size, positive, finish, aggressiveness. Footwork is good in short space. The next 2 guys we'll talk about, Emmanuel Pregnon and also Keelan Rutledge, both I think are limited athletes, but they're also guards. Respectfully, I say that. Either one of them can pull. I'll stick with Pregnon. Pregnon can pull, get in space. Every single play is a finished play for him. He's not afraid to take the fight. You don't see him really get bulled as much because he attacks you at the line of scrimmage, and at his size, he can hold anchor big time. And if you know anything about the interior offensive line, holding anchor is the key, just in my opinion, key trait that you have to have in your pass protection, and he does that well. His side-to-side movement, I think, is fair enough, not great, but at the same point in time, in short space, he's good. I almost feel like he was miscasted going to Oregon. If I can be quite honest with you, they run a whole lot of outside runs. I think he is suited for inside zone gap scheme, to be quite honest with you.
So what does gap scheme mean?
Gap scheme is from tackle to tackle. You use angles front side, guard and tackle block, and you pull inside gap. That's what you usually have for the most part, is you're playing in between the tackles more than not. We are mostly, as you described earlier, people movers. You're not misdirecting anybody. For CJ2K was an outside zone guy. Those guys they had on the offensive line, big-time athletes. They will run sideline to sideline. This group is more north and south is how you view them.
Gap scheme guys.
Gap scheme guys are more north and south with how you're asking them. It's tight quarters, being able to pull, good angles, and marginal, respectfully, athleticism is needed in this. When you go Arian Foster, Houston Texans, those guys are moving side to side. When you go Derrick Henry for the most part, too, Derrick's not really a gap scheme running back. He's a
little different because he's he's kind of a zone runner. He also has the speed when he does get revved up to get outside and then beat people to the corner.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's how I would describe the two. Power versus finesse almost is the way you look at it.
What is the type of lineman you think Brian Daboll's going to want?
Power lineman.
So you think Brian Daboll would want an Emmanuel Pregnon or Keelan Rutledge type downhill, more north and south versus athletes who can get out in space?
That's why I like Connor McGovern at center. That's why I also look at Austin Slopeman as a big body, not great athlete.
People mover.
Good athlete. Yeah. People, space eater type of guy.
Which fits well with Jeremiah Love, I would say, too.
It does. That
he can do anything.
A Notre Dame offensive line, yeah. And that's the thing, too. Peter Skoronski has athleticism. You pull a pin, a pin and pull type of play, he can go get the job done. That's the way I look at Pregnon, and the next guy will go to Rutledge as well. They can get the job done. You see actually more pulling out of Keelan Rutledge than you do Pregnon, to be quite honest with you.
Emmanuel Pregnon, according to PFF, had a career-high 910 snaps last year, never dipped below 625 snaps in any season in college. Played a ton of football.
The age?
He's almost 25. It doesn't scare me. It's just kind of part of the analysis. Like, he's 24. He'll be 25 in October. Of course you're going to be a people mover when you're playing 18 and 19-year-olds.
This is very true.
At 24.
I was going in my second contract at
Right.
25, 26. That's where I'm talking about with him, you know?
His 88.1 pass block grade was 7th among FBS guards. He allowed just 1 sack, 2 hits, and 2 hurries on 471 pass blocking snaps. 85th percentile marks on true pass sets and elite production in zone schemes. 98th percentile zone run blocking grade.
He's always looking to finish.
For Emmanuel Pregnon. If you'd say he's a better run blocker than he is pass blocker?
He's probably more even.
Okay.
Yeah. You can tell he takes pass pro to heart.
Okay.
He does. And I think his pass pro is probably better than his run blocking.
Sure.
He just, when he's on you, he going to finish you every single chance he gets. Every single chance he gets.
Sure. I really like Keelan Rutledge, and not just because Ben Jones came in here and said he loved him. Obviously, that helps because Ben Jones knows. Ben Jones has forgotten more about offensive line than I've ever learned, and so have you. 6 pressures allowed in all of 2025 for Keelan Rutledge at Georgia Tech.
And I blame that on Haynes King.
15 career penalties. Scheme-dependent run blockers, what PFF's analysis says, with below-average production on zone concepts compared to gap schemes. 8th percentile production on zone concepts. 32.5-inch vertical, 5.0540, 9.62 relative athletic score. Here's the thing I love about Keelan Rutledge, and this is one of the only stats that's predictive of good O-line play. What's your 3-cone?
Mm-hmm.
His 3-cone drill was 91st percentile. 5.0540 at 6'4", 316. I think Keelan Rutledge is a pretty dang good athlete. Peter Schrager mentioned in his mock draft him 31 to the Patriots as a first-round guy. He's still 65th on the consensus big board. Again, this is where I remind people that the consensus big board, while a good tool, is just that. It's a consensus of people who maybe aren't as in the know, and you're weighting the opinions of people who are giving their own analysis against those who are talking to people in buildings. So the way all that gets weighed out is subject for conversation on another day. But that being said, Keelan Rutledge stock is rising significantly. And if I told you, Ramon, that the Titans picked him at 35, is that too high to go for him, considering his overall body of work?
I'm taking him over Pregnon. I just am.
At 35?
Yeah.
So you think 35 isn't too rich for Keelan Rutledge?
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not. Not even. I think you cash in your ticket big time on this pick if you do go take him. They got him listed at 6'3.5". He looks like he's 6'5" on the tape. It just, his size
I like that.
Is just, he hits people. One, positives. He's a wall. He's aggressive. He finishes everything. I think when you look at his tape, he pulls more than I feel like Basantis does, and also Pregnon as well. If we're looking at day 2 guys, he finishes every single block. When guys hit him, he doesn't go back. I saw him get stuffed in a hole one time, and he did not move. He just created a wall for the running back to hit downhill on the gap scheme as well. When I initially looked at his tape, and before you even told me like what his relative athletic score was or his 3-cone as well, I was just like, well, he looks like a marginal athlete. Well, here's what I would say to you as well about him. Technically, it's elite. You watch him in his double teams, he know how to assist his tackles and his guards each and every time. He has an understanding of space. He is a born guard. What I do see on this tape, and I was just questioning at first, was he has a hitch getting out of his stance, kind of like he's a little bit under, below the line athletically. But when you tell him his scores, it doesn't translate. I think he can get too aggressive at times. When you look at his tape too, his hands, when he's on you, he is thinking about killing you. He's not thinking about just hurting you. He wants to kill you is the way I look at his tape. It can look sloppy with how he moves, but it's just erratic movement because you can tell him with what I'm telling my young athletes that I'm coaching right now, you have to force yourself to be fast. And I feel like Keelan Rutledge has been in a spot to where he's had to tell himself, be faster, be faster, be faster. And you kind of see that in his movement. Quick, slow feet don't eat. And I promise you this, Keelan Rutledge does not have slow feet at all. He forces himself to be quicker and be faster. And I think that sometimes gets him in trouble. But at the same time, I'd much rather say whoa than sick him. Sure. He is on his pulls, violent.
I like it. I'd love for you to watch some Jennings Dunker as well.
Say less.
Iowa guard. I know that there is a Logan Jones hive out there of Titans fans that love him. I would say look at Jennings Dunker, too, as someone with right tackle and right guard flexibility. Dan Brugler has him as a third-round grade. To me, that's a player at 66, who literally, Dan Brugler says, a Paul Bunyan of the O-line. At 6'5", 319 with 33.5-inch arms and a 5'18", 40. To wrap a bow on this, just kind of on guards, and I want to talk about some receivers too after we get to this break, but are you content with selecting one of these guards with the 35th overall pick?
Yeah, it's okay. I'll look you dead in your eyes on draft night and be like, well, it's okay. Because for as much as I'm not anti-Jeremiah Love, I just don't want Ashton Genty level of rookie year.
That's my thing, and this is where I'm at with this, because I agree with you. If you draft Jeremiah Love, I want an offensive lineman on day 2. So part of your rationale of going with Love has got to be, we feel good about our ability to immediately make our line better in this draft.
Yeah. And you do that with talent. And the other part, though, too, we talked about on air, there has to be balance.
Yeah, right.
Right? With the blind judgment of this.
For sure.
You got to go young, I think, in the draft for offense and let those guys grow up, and eventually it goes to the other side, and you try to find that balance. And in that balance is where you want it to meet for a Super Bowl run.
You addressed defense in free agency. Now it's time to address offense in the draft.
And let them grow.
Coming up, some receivers, the guy that I love, and some more day 2 option discussion coming up after this.
One word that comes to mind when you think about Genesis Diamonds: integrity. This is a company built on a solid foundation with total transparency and honesty. This is why they don't have commission salespeople. They pay their people, they pay their employees, not you, okay? So they aren't under any pressure to sell you anything, and you aren't under any pressure to buy anything. They share with you the long-held secrets of the diamond industry, teaching you the tricks to maximize the value of your purchase. They show you how to buy like a dealer buys, and that's natural and lab-grown diamonds as well. Another thing, at Genesis Diamonds, they don't play the pricing game. Unlike other jewelers, they work on a very small margin. They don't mark up to mark down prices. They offer the best value price every single day. And when they do have a sale, it's the real deal, not a phony event. We're lucky to have Genesis Diamonds here. They're not another big box corporate chain store at all. They're locally owned, but with international connections that guarantee no middleman pricing on every diamond. And don't forget, only at Genesis do they have the top bridal designers that everyone else wants. They were handpicked by all the top designers because only Genesis meets the highest standards in quality and customer care that these designers demand. You will love the experience. Trust me, I've been there. Genesis Diamonds and luxury pre-owned Rolex watches. They're located in Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Ramon Will at 104.5 The Zone rolling on as we wrap up hour number 3. We've got some Nashville SC tickets for you coming up here in 10 minutes as they take on Charlotte FC April 25th for Star Wars night at Geodis Park. So stay tuned for that coming up here at the top of the hour. Couple of receivers, Ramon, I wanted to bring up before we get Rhett in here for hour 4 as well to talk about some quarterbacks and tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
If Denzel Boston falls to 35, is that of interest to you for the Titans?
Everybody keeps talking about the guys that can potentially fall as if they can also go higher, too.
Well, because there are always a couple guys who are going to be sitting there at the top of the board on day 2 of like, I thought that guy was going to go in the 20s.
No doubt about it, but legitimately, Denzel Boston, the answer is yes. The answer is 100%. Thank you, Big Boss Bird. He signed me into one of his pre-draft thingies.
Fantastic.
I call it thingies.
I love that laugh.
It is awesome. Denzel Boston, though, I think he has first-round traits.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, it's with what this team needs over the duration of continually building it up, if a guy has talent, proven that he can play, and he's got the volume of catches, health, and athleticism to help, absolutely. Now, intimately finding out about their mind is going to be something that I guess Robert Saleh and his group going to have to figure out, too.
Trevor Sikkema writes on Denzel Boston, he is a smooth-moving ex-receiver from Washington with the size and skill set to develop into a starting outside receiver at the next level. He is less comfortable and productive against zone. Here's what I love. In single coverage situations, he is often the player to bet on thanks to elite hand strength. He's one of the ones with the most potential to me, Ramon, in this class at receiver, who could be there. He is a big-bodied, just strong-handed target. And when I look at what this team needs, in my opinion, at receiver, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for big outside receivers who can win in man coverage. Because I saw this team struggle so much last season to win against man, against these blitzes where Cam has got to get rid of the football, throw it up, give a guy a chance, and the guy he was given a chance to wasn't able to come down with it enough.
Yeah.
The other one is Chris Bell, and you know how much I've been on Chris Bell this entire process. 225 pounds. The breakdown from PFF, track speed brought to the field with impressive explosiveness and top-end speed for 225 pounds. Does his best work against press and man coverage, where he can overwhelm defenders with a combination of size, strength, and vertical speed. Trevor Sikkema says he offers an impressive blend of size, particularly weight and explosiveness, as a wide receiver 2 in a vertical offense.
Mm-hmm.
Some tightness in his lateral movements limits his ability to win with nuanced route running, but when kept on vertical or horizontal routes, something I see a lot in a Brian Daboll offense, those deep crossers, those deep vertical routes, throwing in the seams, he can generate separation on deep routes and create yards after the catch on shorter touches. I just think he is such a perfect fit for what they need and don't have that I'm willing to wait on him to get healthy. We had a comment on YouTube saying, bad Will. We can't afford to wait on somebody with injury. You can afford to wait on Chris Bell with an injury, in my opinion, because he's that good. And the boxes that still need checking: vertical winner, contested catcher, big physical target who can win against press man coverage. That's what I want to see from Chris Bell in the Titans offense. The thing, though, of all these guys, Ramon, is that I would love a trade back to get any of them.
You know, yeah.
I'd love to pick up another day 2 pick later, or something at the top of the 4th and then later day 3. Because a lot of these guys, as far as the rankings you see, again, not gospel,
right,
are aside from Denzel Boston, are ranked in the 40s or 50s in terms of prospects. I want to move to the 40s, and I want to pick up another pick, just like they did last season when they took Femi Oladejo and then were able to go get Kevin Winston because of it.
I'm going to propose this to you, too, as well.
Okay.
With all the reporting about A.J. Brown going to the Patriots, I feel like the comparison is not a 1-to-1, but he's very similar to AJ.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be in the Patriots' best interest to just take him as well?
Chris Bell?
Chris Bell. You know what I'm saying? Instead of playing the whole trade away draft picks for AJ, it's just
there's no guarantee you're going to get him. I mean, you can guarantee you're getting that guy by trading for him if you have those convictions. And I mean, all the words out of owners' meetings are like, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Until A.J. Brown is a New England Patriot.
No doubt, for sure. And that's the only reason I bring up like the Chris Bell thing of this too. It's like you get an opportunity to get a high caliber guy potentially that can turn into this.
I wouldn't take him at 31 if I'm New England.
No, I'm not taking him.
They've got O-line needs too.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't really work out as well for the picks they have.
Only reason because we think it's easier for other teams to take the picks that we study and talk about often. I think Chris Bell is worthy of it as well. There's more quality, I think, from 2 to 4th round picks than I think looking at the first round and betting your franchise on them.
It does feel like there will be a lot of picks maybe that raise eyebrows on night 2 because of how small the gap is between like the 2nd and the 3rd round graded players. Fair?
Very much so.
It feels like there's not a huge difference between a lot of what you're getting from picks 35 to what, 75?
It's not.
You're getting
I don't
solid
think so.
starters and contributors all throughout this draft on night 2.
From the D-line to the secondary to the offensive line to wide receivers, I fully agree. Somebody asked a question. I know we got to go to break. Perfect question. Somebody asked, who's been reporting on the A.J. Brown to New England conversation?
Everyone.
Everyone?
Daniel Jeremiah said it on the Schrager Hour the other day. He said, oh, yeah, no, A.J. Brown's a Patriot.
The chat was just wondering who's been pushing the A.J. Brown to New England conversation. That's all.
Are we going here?
No.
Are we discussing?
I didn't know if you had a direct insider. That's all.
I don't know what to do now.
Go to break.
I guess we'll go to break. Hour 4 with Red Brian. Nashville SC tickets next.
This is a different court, Blair.
Same result, Slay.
Oh, okay, Blair. See, that's Tyler Tanner. See, Tyler Tanner's in the house now.
Let's see what you got. Jerry's out, Blair.
Blair, come on. Okay, Blair, just come sit down. Come on, Blair, stop. You're going to get hurt. Blair, get off the court. That's enough.
What's the verdict, Blair? The courtroom is where I play ball.
Boy, Durham, injury law. And that ain't got no roof.
9:03, good morning, live from the Circus Sports, the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. A big 5-0 win for the Nashville Predators last night over the Anaheim Ducks in Anaheim. The Preds had 5 different goal scorers, but the star of the night was goaltender Justus Anonen, who made 43 saves in the win, which is his second most saves in his career. The Ducks had 5.87 expected goals against, but were unable to generate anything. And Nashville gets their first shutout win of the year. The Preds now jump back over the Kings with 84 points on the season in that second wild card spot in the Western Conference playoff race. Next up for the Preds is a match with the Utah Mammoth tomorrow night in Salt Lake City, who beat Edmonton last night 6-5 in overtime. Nashville Soccer Club and Club America ended in a 0-0 draw last night at Geodis Park in the first leg of the CONCACAF Champions Cup. The second leg will be next Tuesday, April 14th in Mexico, in a decisive match which will be played at 10:30 p.m. Central Time. Involves Hoops News yesterday. Tennessee freshman Amari Evans has entered the transfer portal and becomes the 7th Tennessee player to do so. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into the fourth and final hour on your Wednesday morning. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Rhett Bryan is here. Fourth quarter of the show, fourth hour of the show, talking QBs and tight ends this morning. What's up, Rhett? How we doing?
I'm good. How about y'all?
We're good.
Good. Good old use of y'all right there. I like it.
It is also a winning Wednesday here at 104.5.
It is.
We've got some tickets to give away.
What are we giving away, Will Bowling?
We're giving away, I'll do the Price is Right. We're giving away Nashville SC tickets. That was kind of a more SNL than it was Price is Right.
Musical guests.
Nashville Soccer Club on Star Wars night against Charlotte FC.
That's pretty good.
A.D. Bryant, Fred Armisen, Bobby Moynihan.
That's a good one. That's good. Horatio Sands.
The question is, whenever the winner comes up, will you kiss him like Bob Barker used to?
No.
Well, no, wait a minute.
Unless that winner is my fiance, because we're getting married in 2 months.
Hang on a second. Now, I need to clarify something there.
Yeah.
Most of the ladies that were contestants on Price is Right kissed Bob.
Oh, yeah.
It was,
it
was usually that
ready
way.
to.
Oh,
was ready to.
Bob Barker had that effect on women.
Hey,
he had that cash in his pocket if he got the price right on the money, too. So it's like, there's always that.
He did.
I wonder if anybody ever pickpocketed
him. He got close enough.
Winning Wednesday at 104.5 The Zone. Nashville SC hosts Charlotte Saturday, April 25th for Star Wars night at Geodis Park. And we've got tickets courtesy of our friends at Shoney's. Be caller number 5 right now to win 2 tickets to be there. 615-737-1045. Caller 5. 2 tickets to see NSC versus Charlotte, April 25th. 615-737-1045. From their fresh food bar to their classic menu items, you can't go wrong. Plus, their new family meals to go. You're perfect for your get-together. With locations in Clarksville, Dixon, Lebanon, and Nashville, Shoney's Let's Eat.
Featuring Shoney's all-you-can-eat breakfast bar.
Yes,
and if you're good, you'll get a setup.
If you're
hot
good,
fudge cake.
There you go. You go.
Part of the reason why I turned out so well is because I was raised on if you were good, you would get a setup at Shoney's as a reward.
What's the setup at Shoney's?
Oh. Setup is the hot fudge cake that you would get if you behaved at the end of the meal.
Okay.
Incentivized dining.
Exactly.
Right. I get you. They were talking.
A setup.
3-2 was talking about the breakfast at Shoney's yesterday. Or dangling carrots.
Well, dangling carrots. We were dangling desserts here.
Desserts, yeah, 100%. I love carrots, by the way, now. The fresh cut ones are way better than the ones you buy the pre-cut at the stores.
Okay.
Next, man. We're carrot eaters in our house, man. Keisha gets them all the time. She cut them and
Speaking of, did you see a sneak peek of the practice jerseys?
I did.
Little Kroger on there, speaking of groceries. Little K. Roger right here on the left shoulder plate there.
I like it. I like it. We should just announce, before we talk about all these prospects, just do it as SNL. Fernando Mendoza, Indiana, #1 on the consensus big board. As we talk quarterbacks and tight ends this morning.
That's what I'm talking about.
What do you like about Fernando Mendoza, Rhett? And what stands out about why he is the guy and the foregone conclusion is the #1 overall pick?
I think one of the things that I like about him is his leadership ability, his toughness. Like, we'll get to the attributes, athletically. I mean, when you think about the shots that he took in the Big Ten championship game and then obviously the national championship game with those Miami guys running after him, it was impressive.
Busted his mouth open, didn't they?
Yeah.
They busted his mouth open. I remember that. He took one, and their coach was going insane about it. I don't know because I'm trying to reflect back on it, if that was a clean hit or he was a runner on that play, and they popped him good, right?
Yeah, they did. They absolutely did. And that's, the thing about it is he understands he can make a little something happen with his legs if he needs to, but he's a pocket passer.
Sure.
That's what he does.
Sure.
But he has the arm, he has the anticipation, he has the ball placement, and I mean, good Lord, everything around him. I mean, he just works, and he's the prototypical size. He's 6'5", 225, 35 career starts, 25 and 10 in that window, 72% completion percentage in 2025, 41 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, national championship. He's trying to beat, in Hollywood, there's the EGOT club where you have an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. That's big time.
Absolutely.
He's trying to join the HNF club.
Heisman.
National championship. First overall pick.
All right, then.
Not bad.
What a heck of a year. Real quick, in comparison to Joe Burrow, that just, transfer school, went and killed it, checked every box. How far off or how close is he to Joe?
They're different. They're different. And here's the other part. In fairness to Fernando Mendoza is the quarterback in this draft. Mm-hmm. If we're talking the 2027 draft or maybe even the 28, depending on whether guys stay or go, I'd be interested to see where he would fall. Mm-hmm. It's much the conversation with like a Carnell Tate, the wide receiver from Ohio State. Mm-hmm. Like, Carnell Tate's the #1 receiver probably in this draft. And it's argued, some people say Jordan Tyson, some people say Mekhi Lemon. But if you put him in that draft next year, in that wide receiver draft, Carnell Tate's probably 6 or 7 out of that.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So, right. But a solid person and good football IQ. I mean, look, between him and Kirk Cousins, it's maybe the most wholesome quarterback room in the history. I mean, it's
in the least wholesome city in the NFL, too, in Las Vegas.
Well, temptations are strong, my brother.
That's true. That's true. The interesting thing on Mendoza, and two, I think where he does overlap with Burrow is in their weakness. Takes a lot of sacks. Fernando Mendoza, 15th percentile in sack rate, according to PFF at Indiana. His sack to pressure ratio, or pressure to sack conversion rate, near 19%. You want to get that much lower than that. I think average is about 14%, hovering around that mark. He's just so accurate, though, despite the pressure. 41 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, really good back shoulder thrower. It just is going to come down to, can Vegas immediately give him a good offensive line to stay upright, paying Tyler Linderbaum what they did as a free agent? You do that when you have a quarterback who, when pressured, goes down a lot. So how can we minimize the amount of pressures that he's seeing?
And let's think about it this way. Let's just take it a step further to your point. If they short up the offensive line, what else is going to happen in this? Well, you're going to see Ashton Genty with production numbers better because they have improved that stuff, which in turn is going to help one Fernando Mendoza. Mm-hmm. It's just it's a whole. What is it? What they say? It takes all 11, right?
Mm-hmm.
100%. So I think that's key to all of this. There are a few people that Fernando Mendoza is not their cup of tea. It's like, he's this, he's that, whatever. And then you'll see people that are more bullish on him. But listen, he's got a great resume. He appears to be a rock-solid person.
Yeah.
And I think he can help that franchise. And listen, I think that would be the shock in all of this is if for some reason he is not the first overall pick of the Raiders.
Right. I want to talk Ty Simpson, Garrett Nussmeier, Drew Aller, some of the other guys within the quarterback conversation. Titans reportedly have visited with Eli Stowers. There was a report about that yesterday, and Stowers is being evaluated as a big receiver.
Yeah. Which is what I basically see him as. I mean, listen, there's a whole lot of tight end types that have come out in the last 10 drafts that are just big ex-receivers type guys.
Between him and Kenyon Sadiq, who shattered the combine record in the 40 for tight ends at 4.39 at tight end.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talent to dive into and talk about. We'll do that with Rhett Bryan as Hour 4 continues after this. What's up? It's Will Bowling. Springtime is allergy time. It's spring cleaning time. It is a natural time to make sure that those carpets are spotless, but also that the bacteria, the germs that are hanging out in your carpets are not making allergy season even worse for you. Carpet is the #1 air filter inside the home. You need Zero Res to come out there and do a full deep clean for you. Zero Res is also offering you some deals. 2 carpeted rooms plus a hallway for $129, $50 off air duct cleaning. Zero Res is outstanding reviews on Google as well. Close to 5,000 of them. Over 700 Facebook reviews. Go check them out. You're going to hear about their great service. You're going to hear about the great stuff they can do because Zero Res offers a smarter, lasting clean. No harsh chemicals, no soap residue, faster dry times. 615-535-9376, the number. That's 615-535-9376. Or book online and visit ZeroResNashville.com. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean. And don't forget to ask about their air duct cleaning. Ramon and Will rolls on, hour 4. Available wherever you download podcasts. And on the 104.5 The Zone app. Ty Simpson, Rhett Bryan, is an interesting prospect because he's not played a ton of football. He has made some big-time throws. 10th at FBS, or 10th among draft-eligible quarterbacks last year on PFF in big-time throw percentage. Clean pocket grade was 7th best. He didn't have a run game and has some inaccuracies in his game as well. 31st on the consensus big board, a classic example of, like, is he going to go first round? Should he? Probably not. Is he going to? Probably. Where do you see kind of the conversation beginning on Ty Simpson as a draft prospect?
The divide between he and Fernando Mendoza is pretty wide, just by evaluators' standards. Where he ends up, to your point, because quarterback draft is different than the regular draft, we're going to see. To your point, 15 career starts in college. That's it. 6'2", 208, 567 dropbacks in his last 2 years, 15 career starts, 1-year starter, has adequate arm, makes good protection calls, go through his progressions well, 63.9% completion percentage. 28 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He can run. That's the thing that's good about his game is 21 first downs last year using his legs. And a lot of that was down the stretch when they could not keep the run game going. You know, Jam Miller gets hurt, and it's weird to see Alabama without a solid, strong running game. Seems like that's just an earmark of an Alabama team.
This is where I would usually pile on them, but they beat us last year, so I can't do it.
And I'm not trying to say disparaging stuff. I'm just speaking the truth. Like, they didn't have a great run game.
They did not.
To your point with Ty, 30 sacks. His receivers had 30-plus drops. The run game deficiencies. And to think about the 30-plus drops, like, we're not talking about Jeremy Bernard. Jeremy Bernard he's one of the more solid, sure bet receivers in this thing. Like, he may not be the best athlete in the world, but he's a great football player.
And he's
going to make you a really good player.
We've been talking about day 2 Titans options today. That's absolutely a day 2 Titans receiver option I'd be great with.
We're talking about Ryan Williams is dropping balls. The Wonder King. So
he's engaged now, too, by the way. That's Ryan Williams.
Is he now 19?
I think he's 20 now. That's what the news has been saying.
And I think his lady is 26 or 7.
Yeah,
so
he's in it. He's love is in the air, y'all. Love is in the air.
To your point, as they got down the stretch, his accuracy and ball placement dipped some. And again, some of that is he's running for his life. Some of it is his own design or mistakes. Play under pressure, limited as a starter. So, listen, I think he's got a chance to be a nice quarterback. The thing that I worry for him is the lack of experience, because when you see the cases through the years, I mean, Mitchell Trubisky is set to be the backup quarterback here for the Tennessee Titans. And what did he have? 11 career starts, 1-year starter at North Carolina.
Sure
these guys have trial by fire. Now he comes in here as a seasoned vet that knows how to operate an offense. And certainly a Brian Dable one, because he had served in those capacities in Buffalo. But that's the thing that's concerning about his profile going forward. He certainly has a lot of the earmarks and acumen that you'd look for. To your point, does he last to 33 with the New York Jets in night 2, or does someone pull the trigger in round 1? I've been convinced for a while that his true ceiling, highest point, may be the Rams at 13 to start, just have him as a sit season and learn behind Matthew Stafford.
That's what you're looking for, right? When you talk about development and lack of experiences, let him grow.
And then don't the Jets have the second number 1 at 16?
That's correct.
And that might be the actual place.
Okay.
Maybe the 13's a bit high. And then there are some people who believe he might be inside the top 10. I'm like, if that's happening, maybe there's a chance the Titans take advantage of something there. But It's not the draft I don't anticipate a ton of trades at the top of the first round because of the kind of draft that it is. Now, I say that and there'll be 8 of them, but I'll just jinx myself.
It's the beauty of life.
But it's typically the quarterbacks that move the needle in terms of, moving draft capital around.
One interesting stat from PFF on Ty Simpson, his accuracy percentage is 58.7%. That's 24th out of 57 draft-eligible quarterbacks. He struggled with accuracy when targeting receivers to the wide parts of the field. On attempts to the wide parts of the field, his uncatchable pass rate jumped from 21.9% to 27.4%. That was the 13th highest in the draft class.
Yeah, that's when it gets difficult. I mean, listen, all these guys have things they got to work on to get to the next level. I'm one of the ones that I thought Ty Simpson should have gone back to school.
Me too.
Yep. He needed another 15 games or whatever he could play.
Me too.
His experience, I think about Coach Mack. You can't manufacture experience. He says it all the time.
You cannot.
And that's just kind of where I am with him. I think the young man has a lot of talent, but I'm concerned about the lack of experience.
And he's got a lot of positives in his favor. He's a coach's son.
That's correct.
He's a former 5-star.
Yes.
Yeah, his coach, Coach Simpson at UT Martin, been there forever.
Never mentioned that.
Yeah, this one over here.
I should throw this ball at him.
Let me move on.
Trying to deadpan it over there.
Him. Oh my God!
Really? I never heard that.
He got me good right there. The last part in Dane Brugler's beast is kind of where your point about he should have gone back to school is this. He says he projects as a low-level NFL starter with the ceiling of a mid-level starter and a floor of a backup. I don't like this last little part. Reminiscent of Daniel Jones with lesser physical talents.
I could see that.
So he's second round to me.
In college.
He did. Like he should have went back and strengthened. I felt like his ability to earn
at Tennessee.
I'm not one to throw comps out all the time because Coach Mack said, "Don't do that, son. Let's not,
Yeah, let's not do that."
Maybe he's just by what you're describing there from Dane Brugler, which by the way, the beast. Yes, good.
It's
Christmas
out.
Day.
I've got it up right here.
We in it now.
Who does that sound like to you? It sounds like another Alabama quarterback, Mac Jones. That's what it sounds
Big
like.
Mac, absolutely, and he's becoming a better pro.
A
better pro.
Yeah, and the other thing Mac always preaches time on task. The guy's been in 2 or 3 spots. He's made starts. He started for Brock Purdy. He started in Jacksonville. You have to have time. You have to have experience.
I want to move on to tight ends real quick though. Garrett Nussmeier is interesting because he is got some of the same weaknesses as Simpson. He was also injured all of last season, according to reports. And not even reports, like Brian Kelly talked about it. Like before the season, he was playing through injury and it was like a workload thing. This is crazy. Another team that couldn't run the ball, who should, always. LSU should be able to get out of bed and run the ball.
Yeah.
Pressure to sack rate on first and second downs for Garrett Nussmeier was 29%. That is stupid high.
Yeah.
And again, a sign that defenses knew they were going to throw it on first and second down. I'm interested in how he and Ty both could fare with an NFL offensive line and a run game because neither of them had that last season.
Well, let me say this about Garrett Nussmeier. First of all, one of the bigger things with him is he lacks the height and frame and the hand size.
Yeah.
He's 8 3/4 hands. He's 6'1", just about there, 202. Now, he has plus football IQ because his father is the offensive coordinator of the New Orleans Saints. So I mean, he knows ball. But the thing about him, he had some type of an abdominal injury that he was working through. He had 9 starts, and then they sat him in November to see what they had in Michael Van Buren. But the football IQ is good, and he's one of those that will certainly get his name called. I just think it's probably towards the end of night 2, if I'm thinking.
Okay. I like it.
And there may be a team that views him and values him higher than that.
Yeah.
But I think he's somebody that could develop it because he has, the skill set as far as the knowledge and the acumen and those things. I think the injury, there's a lot of these guys, medical checks is, you got to see what's there. But he's a pocket style passer, smaller quarterback.
Tight ends, Rhett, begin with Kenyon Sadiq.
They do.
4.39 40.
Hooey. That's insane.
43.5-inch vertical, which wasn't even the best vertical in the class because Eli Stowers had a 45.5-inch vertical. 154 10-yard split for Kenyon Sadiq. A 4.39 40 for a tight end.
I just don't get it.
Shatters the NFL Combine record. Wasn't as good in the 3-cone or the shuttle. 8 touchdowns, still led all tight ends. This is the stat I think is the money stat on Kenyon Sadiq. 145.5 is the passer rating when targeted last year. 6th in FBS among tight ends. 42 catches for 509. What do you like about him?
Plus athlete, clearly. I mean, because you're talking about, 43.5 vert, 11 broad, 26 reps at 225. So he has core strength.
Bench too, right?
Yeah. He has a great
strength.
He has a great catch profile. He still needs growth at that level, but I mean, he looks like he was built in a lab. And you're talking about a potential mismatch type of weapon prospect in this 6.6 yards after catch, and I think that's for his career. Basketball and track background, that always helps. And but yeah, he's the lead dog in this group. And, he's a 4-star recruit. He just turned 21 years old. So, I mean, he's, young. Yeah, he's got all of that. And, he's played plenty of ball. But, yeah, and the thing that's a little sneakier about him, like you'd think, well, he's a big wide receiver. He's got some blocking skills. He does. But you could match him up against some guys for a mismatch type of situation with his athletic profile.
No doubt about it. He's, to your point about him being able to block some, he was 241 at the combine, 244 at the pro day. Like, that's size, especially with his explosiveness. Mm-hmm. He could get it done. But for a guy like him, one of the first things Dane Brugler says, look like an action figure. You feel like he, to me, is your Vernon Davis types that's probably going to be in line, athlete, go up and go get it types, Rhett, is the way you view him. First round talent, easy first round tight end coming off the books. So. Okay. Next, Stowers.
Yeah.
Where would you play him personally before you go through everything else? Tight end, or are you actually going to explore wide receiver for a guy like him?
Oh, I would play him at tight end.
Okay.
But his profile lends more to a receiver type of,
a receiving tight end.
Yeah.
It's the kind of player we can't let the Chiefs get.
Well, that's fair.
Honestly.
And there were reports that he's a top 30 visit for the Titans.
The Titans as well. Absolutely.
4-star quarterback at Texas A&M to start out. Mm-hmm. People forget about that. Football and track, red shirt senior, 6'3.5", 239, arms 32 5/8, hands 9 3/4. 4.51 in the 40, set 2 combine records, 45.5-inch vert and an 11.3 broad jump. Texas State champ as a high jumper in track, so there's what we're talking about. Okay. And you're talking about in the state of Texas now.
Look up his mouth.
If you're breaking high school track records in Louisiana, Florida, Texas, you're doing something.
You're doing something. Yes, absolutely.
Correct. And then people forget he went to New Mexico State and lost the battle at quarterback to Diego Pavia, which both of them ended up coming to Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
941 snaps in his last 2 years. But, yeah, good hands, good route runner, explosive, good feet. He's a big wide receiver. Like, again, a comp that would probably make sense is he's an Evan Ingram type tight end.
Okay. Yeah.
And some people think more of a local flair that after he's been a few stops since he was here and drafted. Here's Jonnu Smith.
Jonnu. Yeah, Jonnu's a pass catch specialist.
This man jumped 7 feet in the high jump. Vandy should have started a men's track team just so he could be on it and go to SECs. I'm serious. No, they don't have men's track.
I didn't realize that.
They do not have men's track and field. Okay, I like it. After that, Max Clare, where you'd go next, Ohio State?
That'd be one of the places, yeah.
Okay.
Better receiving tight end at Purdue, bulked up at Ohio State, but still has the capability that he's 6'4", 246, arms 32 1/8, hands 9 1/8. He can create separation, 6 yards after the catch averaged. Improved as a blocker. Mm-hmm. And listen, if you're playing for a program like that, you're probably doing some stuff right.
Yeah.
But, he's a nice prospect. One of the guys I like in this for late day 3, maybe late day 2, maybe early day 3 prospect is Justin Jolie from NC State, formerly of UConn. He was a wide receiver at UConn and then kind of got a little bigger and went to NC State. 6'3.5", 241, hands 10.5, wing almost 79, 30.5-inch vert at his pro day, 9'6" broad, no 40 at the pro day because he had some kind of a hamstring issue. He is a receiving tight end, 70.4% on contested catches in 2025. That's in the 96th percentile.
Wow.
Smart, athletic, plus ball skills, and a good catch radius. I like Justin Jolie.
I do too. I remember when Tennessee very strongly considered bringing him in out of the portal from UConn.
Okay.
And he was a very popular option. Didn't he play on that UConn team? He did. He played for UConn when Tennessee played UConn in homecoming, and then he was on the NC State team the next year that Tennessee beat in the Dukes Mayo Classic in Charlotte. So he played against Tennessee for 2 different teams. Everyone's like, this Justin Jolie guy's great. We got to get him on campus. Then it didn't work out for whatever reason, but... Sorry, tangent.
You're good.
Probably didn't add much. I wanted to ask real quick about Oscar Delp, Rhett, too, of someone that we saw a lot in college. Because Oscar Delp on paper is like, I'm not going to say Eli Stowers level athlete. Oscar Delp feels like should be way better and more productive than he has been. 4.1% drop rate for his career. He's played almost 2,000 snaps. 99th percentile in separation rate from PFF. 4.49 reported 40-yard dash, 38-inch vertical, but he never had more than 300 yards in one season. Just total untapped potential for someone who feels like has such a high ceiling at the tight end position.
Well, he's in Georgia, though.
That's true.
Think about it. There's only one football. I've looked at this too. 9.82 relative athletic score out of 10.
Yeah.
Like that's right. The profile's there. No, he may be one of those because of the program he was in and the way he was used, maybe a better pro in this.
And who he was behind for a few
That's
years.
right. That's right. Route running, athletics, blocking. But yeah, he certainly has an NFL profile going forward.
He ran a 4.49 at his pro day?
Yeah, at that size. Yeah. I mean, he's... And the thing is, his name always gets me because it's like, he sounds like Unc.
Yeah,
Oscar. Uncle Oscar Delp.
It's like Herbert. You know what I'm saying?
He's as white as the driven snow, man. I'm like, your name's Oscar? Which, hey, by the way, our friend Rand Carthon always says, anybody with an old school name has to fight harder.
I'm telling you.
They have to fight harder.
I live by that. Like, your name Richard or Paul or anyone Ernest. Like, yeah, you better learn to fight. You don't get a cool name like Cody or Brian. Like, no, absolutely not.
I'm going to give you one quick one going out the door with the local shout out, and this is Sam Roush, Stanford. Lipscomb Academy. And, golly, has athletes all over his family. Father was a football player at Duke, mom a volleyball player at Montana State. His great-grandfather, a fullback at Utah State, and played for the NFL with the Rams, the Broncos, the Bills. His great-uncle, the late, great Hall of Famer Merlin Olsen.
Okay.
6'5.5", 267. Hands 10, wings 76. Ran a 4.70 40 at that size. 38.5-inch vert at that size. 10.6 broad at that size. 25 reps at 225. He's a football player. Rugby player previously. He was a safety valve type underneath role at Stanford. Working hands, not top hand talent, but he's not an empty chair. Over 1,000 snaps as an inline blocker, so he can do a little of both for you.
I like it. Brian, Wednesdays at 9. We have got one more visit with you next week, and then it will be draft week.
And it's go time, right?
Feels good.
I got to peel through the beast. The beast has many layers,
Yes,
and
it does.
I'm so glad it's here.
That and the Masters Par 3 contest, what I have on tap for today.
Hey, that's a beautiful thing. By the way, did you see where the league says the regular season schedule should be out somewhere between May 12th and May 14th?
So May 13th, the schedule. I'm just kidding. I did see that. It's exciting.
It's all building up.
I love it. Thank you, Rhett. Good to see you.
Right.
See ya.
Appreciate it.
Coming up, this is one of my more underrated favorite sporting events today. We'll talk about it coming up next and what you should be watching for in Augusta, Georgia today. We're going to be trying me hottest to talk about it after this.
It's Ramon and Will here for Window Nation, letting you know spring is here, and it's a great time to open up your windows if you can. But because what if they don't open easily, Will, or they leak or are broken, or if you got to repaint them again? The pros at Window Nation, they can help you get new energy-efficient windows at a great price.
Yeah, you're going to want to crack that window open and let the air come into your home when you want it in your home. You're also going to start thinking about, though, when it's summertime and it's 100 degrees outside and you want that hot air outside and not inside. Window Nation is going to make sure that your windows are allowing you to do whatever you want. You want to open them up. They're easy to open. You're going to get that air in. You want to keep it out. You're going to keep them closed, and it's going to be sealed for you. And Window Nation's the more you buy, the more you save sale is going on right now. You can save up to 50% off all the windows for your home. You can get them with 0% interest financing for 5 years. Online at windownation.com. A+ rating for the Better Business Bureau, over 45,000 5-star reviews. Check them out online, windownation.com. Ramon Will on 104.5 The Zone, wrapping up the show. It is one of the best sports days of the year for wholesome reasons today. We're playing a song about not wholesome things, but
Jayhawk has something else.
Let's talk about wholesome things. What's going on?
No, that was our one.
What?
That was it. Nothing. The song was cool, and I'm gonna leave it.
Y'all
alone.
are colluding without me here.
I was.
I feel left
you
out.
don't want in on this. This is one of them situations. Officer, I had no idea. They put you on the polygraph. You are innocent, and we go to jail. Okay, you don't want in on this one. I don't know what else he had going on. I just asked for a song because I heard it this morning on my ride in.
It's just a sticky situation is all it is.
I have no idea where to go with that.
Dirty right there.
Yep. So anyway, I'll get us. I'll get us through this.
Here. You be the pro here.
Someone's got to. I'm kidding, obviously. Today is the Masters Par 3 contest in Augusta, Georgia. Par 3 course. You have golfers with their families. That includes little kids who will hit putts. Last year, Poppy McIlroy made Poppy McIlroy, Rory's little daughter. Little girl made an incredibly long putt because Rory lined it up and she just tapped it and everyone went crazy. Yep. It's a very wholesome day. All the families are out there. It's very chill, relaxed, kind of fun day before the drama of the Masters starts tomorrow. And I am so excited for the Masters to start tomorrow. But I'm also just as excited to watch the Par 3 contest because Frankie Fleetwood is now hitting the greens today. Frankie Fleetwood is Tommy Fleetwood's very young son, who last year gave us this viral moment from the Masters Par 3 contest.
Frankie, how much have you been practicing this next shot on the 9th tee?
Well, I've been doing my hardest to get it over the green. I've been practicing as hard as I can. Just not reaching it this year, but I'm just trying my hardest.
Trying my hardest.
Yes. So then you get the video of it and everything. So I think they talked about it yesterday. This is Tommy Fleetwood, his dad. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it is a big talking point in our house. I'm unconvinced that he can carry it. He, obviously very positively thinks that he can. As long as it's a good shot.
Oh, okay, I guess I cut off.
Yeah, it's a weird cutoff. I don't understand it.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Frankie Fleetwood today. Can he carry the water in the Par 3 contest? Can you try me hardest?
Try me hardest.
Kind of sounds like a little leprechaun.
He did. I thought Sam Monson sounded like one for a while. I did. I've said it before. The Irish tone vernacular is very try me hardest and take me lucky charms.
I want that as a drop. When somebody they fail at something. He's trying me hardest. Frankie Fleetwood. So that is the big intrigue today. The Masters Par 3 contest. Can Frankie Fleetwood?
How old is he? Like 8?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah, he sounds like he's younger under
than
10.
No, he's definitely under 10.
Yeah, we were speaking about that earlier. You said golf is one of those started early.
Wow, you're right. As of April, yeah.
Look at me.
Kid was born in 2017.
Jeez, living a life.
Good night.
I'm just trying my hardest.
One more time, let me hear it. I was laughing.
I'm just trying my hardest.
I'm just trying my hardest.
We need that for the season.
So last season when I went to the Ryder Cup with one of my buddies from high school, he joked and said, the mic just finds you wherever you go. These two British guys doing a radio broadcast walked up to me and my friend Mitchell, and they put the mic in front of me, and the U.S. getting destroyed in the Ryder Cup, and we'd had a beverage or two, and I was asked to give an analysis, and I gave actual analysis, and I was like, what am I doing? No one's going to hear this that I know. So the guys come back, and with the courage I had at the moment, I was like, the U.S., we're just not doing very well. We're just trying me hardest.
I'm just trying my hardest.
And I just totally deadpan it. They did not get it. They were so confused, but we thought it was hilarious.
Shame on them. I'll tell you what, too, this time of the year, I have follows that I have yearly follows.
You're going to follow your golf people again?
Hey, Lena Finau, Tony Finau's wife.
Oh, her TikTok content's awesome.
Brother.
They've got 8 kids. Like actually, they've got like a ton of kids. And their travel and private jets and hotel content. That's right up your alley.
It's elite. Do you hear me? It is elite. All right. She did it last year. It was my first time being exposed to what Masters lifestyle was like.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Flew in, just car ready for them on the tarmac, and then they go to this. I'm talking about an amazing house, and I was just like, hold up, I didn't realize Tony Finau was crushing it on the PGA Golf Tour.
Correct.
No, Tony's crushing it.
Yes, he is.
No, that wasn't like a small jet either, because to your point, they got like 8 kids. I'm probably overstating that number. And
no, I think it's actually that many.
It's actually 8. All right, take that, Robert Saleh. But my point is, though, golf is a different world, okay?
6 kids.
6 kids, respectfully. Probably 2 more planning on it. But she's a great follow. That's a free pub right there. And Tony Finau seems like a good dude, too.
Yeah,
I don't really
he's
know
one of the
much
good guys
about
on tour, for sure.
Yeah, they probably about to get a follow from me.
Taylor Zarzour voiced the Titans down there on Sirius XM.
Hey, now.
PGA Tour Radio. On the call all weekend, so looking forward to listening to that. Back at it tomorrow morning as we continue with Masters updates tomorrow from Augusta, Georgia on 104.5 The Zone. Look forward to it. Buck Rising Show is up next.
Bet y'all are waiting, but you must remember, it's with her fingers, your mic, and everything else in between is always hot.
I'm just trying my hardest.